You know what it did? It got me ready for radio.
Yeah.
Didn't turn me into a little snowflake. Today, somebody would have sued him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, he died at 80 years old. What a way to go.
Yeah.
He died in his sleep.
You know what? The only thing better than that is to probably live to be, into your 90s and get shot by a jealous husband.
Mike Scott, you did sports for a long time. What's your favorite Dick Butkus story?
Really only met him twice. Only in a cursory fashion, just shaking hands up at Hallis Hall when I covered the Bears full time. Really don't have any Butkus stories other than he was nice. He was always good with the reporters. I remember Dick Butkus because I didn't grow up here.
Oh,
I remember
right.
Dick Butkus as a television and movie actor.
Right on, yeah.
That's the Dick Butkus I remember. I played a clip of the television show Blue Thunder at the top of the hour at 5. He and Bubba Smith, cycled their Miller Lite fame into a television series. Blue Thunder was an awful television series. It was awful.
Well, I don't even remember what network was.
I have
Blue
no
Thunder
idea.
On?
I have no idea. I got
is-
the clip.
Can you play it?
Yeah, I can play it.
Fire
Sure.
it up. I want to hear this.
Hold on.
I shouldn't be listening.
Best
but
thing. The
Yes,
best
you
thing
should
is-
be listening. Here,
Yeah.
Bubba Smith
Okay.
and Dick Butkus. Butkus still intimidating on television. Here you go.
That thingamajig is a computerized databank system.
Look, you know the brass that they're going to have out there this morning? There's senators and admirals, generals, and I don't know what all. And I'm going to get us there on time. And if you don't like it, you can stick it in your computerized databank system.
Mean. A man is just plain mean.
He was intimidating in real life. He was intimidating on television, but yet he played the softest of soft characters in the show with Paul Reiser and Greg Evigan in My Two Dads. The kids from that show live near Butkus on the West Coast in Malibu. They're just in tears this morning. This guy just embraced those little kids on that television show. He was the diner owner, Ed Klawicki, on My Two Dads. But, he was in Any Given Sunday. He was in just a string of shows. And, I played a clip at the top of the hour. He loves coming back to visit Chicago, but he loves going back home to Malibu.
I know that
I made a mistake. I said he was in 2.5 Men. He was in My.
He was in My Two Dads, not
That's
Two
all
and a
right.
Half Men.
That's all right. Amy.
He may have been in My Two and a Half Men. I don't know because, Kutcher was such a Bears fan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But for I'm right at the age where I was a Singletary guy.
Yeah.
My dad was a Butkus guy, but still you knew. I mean, everybody wanted to play the game like that guy did. I mean, ridiculous.
Singletary was locked in, man. His eyes, you could just tell.
But you think of him, you think of Ray Nitschke, you think about the,
you
the days
do.
of old, and the guys when they would bleed on the sidelines and they didn't go into the blue tent, and men were men, and it was cool.
Bill Curry used to talk about, he was the center for the Colts, he used to talk about how when Butkus would cause a turnover, and Butkus caused turnovers, middle linebackers didn't cause turnovers at that time. Butkus had 22 interceptions on his career. Nobody did that. He redefined the position, just like later on in life, Urlacher redefined the position. Butkus redefined the position. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But he would cause a fumble by the running back and just hit him with that high tackle. He hit him high. He hit everybody high and body slammed him. Ball would come out. The offense would recover it. Butkus would run over, and Curry tells the story, he did it multiple times. He would grab the ball, go up to the official, shake the ball in his face and say, "This belongs to me. I caused this turnover."
Yeah.
And they would reverse the call and give it to the Bears.
Back when the NFL was strong.
I know.
That was back when
University
they didn't have love wins on the back of the helmet.
No.
or hate has no home here.
Yeah.
University of Illinois, because he's a famous alum there. They're asking people to leave flowers by his statue on campus. Do you think the kids at U of I know who Dick Butkus is?
Dick Butkus is just a toxic male to the kids. Are you kidding?
Oh, my
Ooh, he's
God.
scary.
The Blackhawks paused to honor him yesterday before their game, and then Brandon Johnson offered his condolences. Calling Butkus. I can't even read that because it's so burdensome to be mayor.
Did Brandon Johnson get permission from his wife to do this?
I don't, well, here's what it says. A son of Chicago who embodied the strength and tenacity of his hometown with every snap he played on the gridiron.
Oh, goodness. Somebody wrote that for him.
You think? Because I don't think Brandon Johnson knows.
Wait,
who
probably
Dick Butkus is.
This guy probably knows a teacher or two.
Oh, that's right. All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, have you changed your habits to avoid risk? We'll explain. But now, let's get back into that newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
53 degrees this morning. Temperatures going down throughout the weekend as well and into next week as fall will hit Chicago. The Biden administration waiving federal law to allow border wall construction in Texas, a policy reversal, waiving 26 federal laws for wall construction due to what the Department of Homeland Security is calling high illegal entry. Imprisoned Iranian human rights activist Narges Mohammadi, the winner of the 2023 Nobel Peace Prize. The UAW president will make an announcement about 2 p.m. today regarding a possible expansion of their strike against the big three automakers, announcing perhaps new additions to the ongoing work stoppage. Former President Trump's lawyers say they plan to file a motion to stay his civil fraud case in New York. During the day's fourth day, Thursday, the Trump legal team said they plan to file that motion later today. A man was found shot to death inside of a tow truck in the East Garfield Park neighborhood this morning. Chicago police say they responded to a call around 1:30 along the 3000 block of West 5th Avenue. When they got there, they found the 28-year-old victim sitting inside of a tow truck with several gunshot wounds to the body. DJ Moore put together a career night. Bears over the Commanders 40-20 on Thursday Night Football. The University of Maryland wideout came home, put on a show, 8 receptions, 230 yards, and 3 scores.
We just needed a win. Get the mojo going in our favor, and it's time to just carry that over into the weeks coming. That's the best thing.
Cole Kmet also scored for the Bears, who host Minnesota next Sunday. Bears legend and NFL Hall of Famer Dick Butkus has died at the age of 80, dying in his sleep overnight at his Malibu, California home yesterday. The linebacker spent 8 years with the Bears, been in 9 years with the Bears, making 8 Pro Bowls, named to the Pro Football Hall of Fame on his first ballot in 1979. Butkus grew up in the Roseland neighborhood on the south side, but once his knee was destroyed, left Chicago for Malibu, and while he loved the city he once owned, he never came back and never missed the weather here.
Well, I was born and raised here, and it's good. I see my buddies out on the far south side and see my brothers every once in a while. Still a good place to come visit. For the winters, I think I'll stay where I'm at.
Butkus attended his last tailgate at Soldier Field before the opener against the Packers, where he was honored with other Bears alumni. In other news, we're following this morning, a 14-year-old boy is in critical condition after shooting himself in the head on Chicago's south side near 83rd and Wood. Police are investigating a homicide in Aurora in the 100 block of North Calhoun. The man there was found shot yesterday and pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Blackhawks not able to get it done on the ice in the shootout. It was a 3-2 preseason loss to the Wild at the UC. Nick Foligno and Taylor Hall scoring. Bears wrap up the preseason with a road game against the Blues tomorrow. Bulls open up preseason play with a game against the Bucks on Sunday. Fighting Illini take on Nebraska at Memorial Stadium tonight after the stadium cleared post-fire inspection. 5:34, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Freedom Summit Chicago tickets are now on sale. Join AM 560, The Answer, on November 11th at the Westin Chicago Northwest for Freedom Summit, featuring Rand Paul, Judge Janine Pirro from Fox News, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thompson, and many more. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Breakthrough Ideas, Linex of Roselle, and by the law offices of Stephen Leahy.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts, knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
Building owners, property managers, and chief engineers. This one's for you.
Hello, this is Bruce Diedrich with Waukegan Roofing, your professional roofer. Everything starts on top. Your investment, your building, and everything in it is protected by your roof. It needs to be in good shape. That's where we can help. If it needs to be repaired or replaced, or you think it might, call us. Let's find out. Here's the number.
847-623-1625.
At Waukegan Roofing, our employees are union-trained roofing professionals with OSHA safety training certifications and have thorough knowledge and expertise regarding the various roofing systems we sell, maintain, and install. We know commercial roofing systems because that's all we do. Over 110 years of doing commercial roofs. Waukegan Roofing has the slogan,
Roofs you can rely on.
Because you can. Here's the number to call,
847-623-1625.
And get the info at WaukeganRoofing.com. WaukeganRoofing.com.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. There's a crime committed on Capitol Hill as October opens. 10 alleged Republicans, led by Matt Gaetz of Florida, joined with every Democrat present to oust Kevin McCarthy from the job of Speaker. Gates' motive is said to be an effort to divert attention from his growing ethics scandal and to raise money by grabbing airtime. McCarthy is the most effective speaker the Republicans have had since Mr. Newt. McCarthy notched a huge win over big spending Democrats and the president this summer, but the knuckleheads didn't want to win. We want to thank Kevin McCarthy for decades of service. Inspired by Ronald Reagan to enter politics, McCarthy is one of the genuinely decent and widely admired elected officials in a town full of just the opposite. We hope McCarthy continues to serve all of the people he can and has done so for so long. He's always played the long game successfully. Some, if not all, the 10 coups will be purged by the GOP incrementally, and the GOP majority will continue to depend on McCarthy and his remarkable team for guidance and calm, effective, sage wisdom. Thank you, Speaker McCarthy.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family.
5:38. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time is a service of Health Insurance Mentors. Are you 65 or older thinking about Medicare? Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Call Stephen Tucker today. HealthInsuranceMentors.com at 630-674-1551. Kennedy inbound already. Stop and go. Foster into Montrose. 24 in from O'Hare into downtown. Tri-State road work jamming up things with 3 right lanes closed until 6 a.m. It's on the southbound side between 95th and Harlem Avenue. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Windy and cooler. Clouds and sun today. May see a sprinkle or two later in the afternoon and a high near 60. 55 at O'Hare. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
We have a moral conundrum, which we'll get to in 1 second. First, I want to tell you everything's, nothing's safe anymore. Not even congressmen are safe. Henry Cuellar.
You know what?
How do you say it?
I say Queller.
Queller, but 2 L's is a Y in Spanish.
But I went to West Chicago High School with a Hispanic kid named Tom Queller, and that's how I pronounced his name. That's what I'm going to go on. Old Tommy
That's what you're going with?
Yeah.
All right. He got a carjacked, don't you know?
And Tommy still has his car.
Yeah, I was just coming into my place. 3 guys came out of nowhere, and they pointed guns at me. I do have a black belt, but I recognize when you got three guns. I looked at one with a gun, another with a gun, a third one behind me. So they said they wanted my car. I said, sure, you got to keep calm in those situations. And then they took off. They recovered the car. They recovered everything. What really got me upset was they took my sushi. But anyway, that's something else. And they did recover the sushi after all. But anyway, I do want to thank the Capitol Police, and I certainly want to thank the Metro Police. I'm a big law enforcement person. I got 3 brothers that are law enforcement, so I certainly appreciate the good work that the police did last night. Everything was recovered.
You know what I hear when I hear him talk? Just big city living. Just happens. He's doesn't seem upset at all, right?
You know
that he got carjacked.
When that happens, the first thing you do is you know what you do is you blame the left because you caused this. You're soft on crime, all your policies and your Soros-funded DAs. Come on now.
So,
am I doing it right? You're doing it right.
Okay,
just checking.
I know. But did he eat the sushi? All right, so then that prompted Peter Ducey, White House correspondent, to ask, does the president feel safe here?
If President Biden's policies are helping bring crime down, would he be comfortable with somebody borrowing his Corvette and parking it on the street overnight in Southeast D.C.?
I'm not going to get into hypotheticals. I'm just going to get into the facts about what this president has done in this presidency.
I mean, she's just...
I'd like to know who does her makeup because somebody at Ulta is spending a lot of money to put that stuff on. That makeup, and God bless women that have to put the makeup on. Amy's been doing it for the better part of a half hour.
Thank you. Yeah,
but your makeup looks good. Hers looks like it was put on by somebody working in Ringling Brothers. I mean, my goodness, they pile that stuff on.
So the question is, all right, so we're bringing this up because 2 mornings ago, I was coming into work, and I called 911. Because, and I don't know why I'm laughing. This is not a funny story.
What are you trying to do, get a hold of JB?
No, I'm driving down the street, and one of my neighbors left his top down on his convertible, and there were 2 black dudes and a white dude taking whatever the heck they wanted. Yeah. I mean, they were working it, and I kind of did a slow roll, and then I thought, oh, I'm not getting shot over this. So I called 911. I went a little bit like this. 911, what's your emergency? I said, well, not that you care or that you can help, but I'm just letting you know that on the 3800 block of blah, 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 there's 3 guys. And she's like, are they armed? Are they intoxicated? He's like, I don't know. And you said he deserved it. This is Pat Quinn. No, this is
Quinn.
Quinn McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't even work here, and I know the cast.
Deserves the word, but when you said that when you were like to the cops, like, well, I know you're not going to show up. It's like, well, I mean, the guy left his top down. It's like a lot rests on the guy that left his top down.
But not all of us have garages to park our car in, and I think that
not all of us have convertibles.
You're blaming the girl for wearing the short skirt.
If you have a convertible, you should know to put the top up when you park it on a city street. I mean, this is the truth from since I was a kid. You lock up your bike.
Stupidity on one part does not constitute an emergency on the other.
Well, you grew up in the mean streets of Rogers Park, right?
Uptown.
Uptown. Oh, see, that's even scarier.
Yeah.
I don't have friends in Uptown, but I'm friends with you, and now I'm scared. I'm going to go take a shower. But I just felt like you're victim shaming a little bit.
Yeah, you should be shamed. You should know better.
Oh my God, Justin, you were right on board with it.
Absolutely, he's right on. What about put aside the robbery? What about weather elements? What if it started pouring? He's an idiot.
Here's the other thing too. No real man drives a convertible. You drive a Ford F-150 or a 250.
Oh my God.
Preferably diesel.
You haven't had your midlife crisis yet, huh?
Who, me?
Oh, no,
man, I've had a bunch of them.
He's had 2 of them so far.
Yeah, no, I've given away a bunch of houses.
What I did pick you up this morning in your F-150.
You did pick me up because I thought the door was locked coming up to the building. So, and I can't get a hold of any of you guys. The phones are all on hold, because you're so busy.
They're very important people.
But I'm waiting for Amy, and here she pulls up in that mom minivan, and I'm like, hey, hot car. Got any kids in the back?
Like, jump in the car. You want to ride and
I'm
some
like,
candy?
hey, hot lady. Hey, hot blonde in the minivan. You get in there, and it immediately smells like 14-year-old girls. Yeah, because you're a coach, right? You're a volleyball coach?
Yeah, but I can't drive them.
Oh, well, that stink must stay with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, no, it's real men drive F-150s. They're making electric ones now too, by the way.
Oh, they're awful.
Oh my God.
Now, when you park your F-150 on a city street, do you lock the doors?
Why would I park it on a city street?
Oh, that's
Well, because you're doing a
another
show
question.
now, and you drive downtown, right?
Yeah, I drive downtown.
So,
Wait, Ray, can you? Has the ordinance changed? Can you park a pickup on a city street in the city of Chicago?
I have a.
Yeah, you can.
I have a specialty
Are you sure?
plate.
It's boulevards that have rules about trucks.
Boulevards
Yeah,
that have
if you
rules
have
about
it
pickup.
depends.
Quinn being the city guy,
A B truck, a B plate has a hard time going down like Lakeshore Drive and things like that.
Right.
But I have a couple friends in town that helped me get a specialty plate. One of those cool plates. I've got my plate is an R. That's it. There's an R on it. That's it. Because I know a couple, 2, 3 people.
Oh my God.
And I
You're
got
so
this plate
corrupt.
that lets me. It is. It's a great. Chicago's a city that works for some, and I'm one of them.
Oh my God! I know you're getting on the field, the Bears game.
Oh man,
You
I had
got
a
your
good.
vanity plate.
You know, and I think that's probably why I was out of work so long. People were pissed at me. They're like, "Let
Yeah.
this guy sit out for a while, little scumbag."
Well, so then when I drove back, so to go full circle on the story, so when I was done working, I wanted to follow up and see what happened, and the car was gone because they probably hot-wired it after they.
It was probably
It
a
was
Kia.
not parked down the
It's
street
probably
anymore.
a Kia. Can't you start those with
It was-
your phone or something?
It was one of those little toy cars, so I don't even know if it had a roof.
Power wheels?
No, it would look like a
Like a Mazda Miata, really tiny
something
convertible.
really tiny. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. Let's go to Joe in Elmhurst. Good morning.
Amy, I'm supporting you 100% on this convertible thing because so many people I know that have convertibles never lock them or put the tops up because what happens when someone wants to steal it? They cut the top and cause $1,000 worth of damage. So you're right on, Amy.
Oh, okay. I never heard about that. They cut the top?
Well, we're not endorsing them cutting the top. We're saying if you leave it open and they ransack your car,
Then you shouldn't even have left the stuff there if you're going to complain that they took your stuff.
Well, in
You know?
Utah, we have a truck where you have the doors off and there's no, obviously the T-tops are off. And nobody messes with you.
Yeah, but
because people look out for one another.
Right, but in Utah,
You're not
And it's
talking about
heaven.
it's
Wait,
different because
what's
in
the
Utah,
biggest
And it's a
city,
bunch
Salt
of
Lake City?
Republicans.
Are you talking about like in the city?
We're talking about the mean streets of St. George.
Yeah, okay,
Now,
yeah.
crime rate's not too high. And the homeless people, you cannot panhandle, by the way, on the streets of St. George or Hurricane.
How'd you find that out?
Because supplementing my income.
problem with Utah though is if
No.
you leave your car open, somebody puts another kid in.
Oh. No, real quick. If you're
I'm telling you guys, if you'll just give me the spot, I'll take it home. I promise you.
if
Was
you
that a
start,
snork?
If you start
Do you ever snort
panhandling-
when Dan's here?
Yes.
Okay.
She started snorting when John was here, and she's never stopped.
Okay.
Yes. I snorted my whole life. I honestly, I can't. turn
Amy
it off.
Jacobson snorts.
Yes.
She
No, I'm
shouldn't
kidding.
be around kids.
So if somebody's panhandling, they swoop them. They don't swoop them up. I don't know how they get them into the car, but they take them to this place, and then they become Mormons. No, they have this great
I
system.
thought you were serious.
They have a great system in place. Oh no, I can't get the giggles. They have a great system in place where then they'll help you work. So it's a shelter. You live there for free. They'll watch your dog. If you have to go to work, somebody will walk your dog for you. If you have kids, they've got daycare for your children. I mean, it's actually a system that works because St. George is beautiful and people would be there year round like they are in Los Angeles, like they are in Tucson. I mean, Tucson, we had a whole park right by our station at KOLD that we couldn't go to on our lunch breaks or walk around to get some fresh air because it was infested with homeless people. And they take dumps and piss in the water fountain.
Hey, you know what?
So
there's a
gross.
certain bit of freedom to that.
So
you know?
what? Will you stop?
Well, now tell me about St. George, Utah. Is that where you?
That's
got,
my end game.
You got a little summer home out there.
A little shanty, a little shack.
something. Yeah,
little shack.
Little
yeah.
2-bedroom,
But we
like a
went
fifth
there,
wheel, like a
we
fifth
went
wheel
there
camper.
during COVID
Yeah.
because all the gyms are closed. We couldn't go to the lakefront.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't go to the park. You couldn't walk around.
But you could go to a press conference and hassle the governor.
Yeah, you're darn right I did that. or you can go to, kids couldn't play football, but you know what you could do? Riot on the streets of Chicago for 3 nights straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody could be together. Then all of a sudden, all the rules were broken.
It's interesting. You go downtown, and I know this radio station, Chicago radio station, but beautiful facilities in Elk Grove Village. I mean, it's fantastic. You go down to Chicago, and every intersection looks like somebody just burned their tires off their car from the street takeovers.
It's so sad what has happened.
And I want to know why and when did it become legal that you could get on the shoulder, go 80 miles an hour, throw your hazard lights on, and it's cool.
I know.
I mean, these folks, they're crazy.
They don't do it. But do you go downtown? I mean, I know you live in the city.
Huh?
Where and why do you go downtown?
It depends. Catch a show. I've got a few concerts downtown, and my wife works downtown.
Well, don't you worry about her safety?
Well, she doesn't take the train anymore. She'll drive to work now.
Because of the crime on the CTA?
Yeah. During COVID, there was people were living on the trains, and then it was kind of like there's only one way to find out if it's safe or not, and it's why risk it? Just drive. Plus, for years I worked downtown, took the train. It's no fun. Even before, we're talking 10, 15 years ago, it was no fun taking the train at night. But
hey man,
but
do what my girl does, Gina. Gina goes downtown.
The day is not as bad as you would think, and it's actually less crowded than it used to be.
Oh yeah.
I told her, I
Everybody
said, baby,
wants to
keep your hand in your purse.
All right. Well,
thank
you.
If you have to.
Thank you, Quinn McCarthy, Mike Scott, Justin. I'll be sure
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century. With IoT Smart Connected Scanning, it's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
Have you saved enough? What are you going to do with Social Security? What will your taxes look like in retirement? Scott Tucker believes retirement planning should be easy, and you should be able to get all the information you need in one place. That's why Scott created the Retirement Decoded Toolkit, a comprehensive resource for your retirement. In it, you'll find a copy of his latest book, Escape Illinois, Should I Stay or Should I Go? This book will provide insight on taxes, Social Security, income, and more. To get your free Retirement Decoded Toolkit, text KIT, K-I-T, to 847-474-3888, or go to retirementdecoded.com. Now, in addition to the book, you'll also receive resources on retirement's most common concerns. Get your Retirement Decoded Toolkit from Scott Tucker right now by texting KIT to 847-474-3888, or go to retirementdecoded.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC. A registered investment advisor, this is a paid placement.
You're smart, you're busy, and don't have time to waste on the mainstream media cycle. Salem News Channel breaks that cycle. Topics that matter from hosts worth watching. Dinesh D'Souza, Andrew Wilkow, Brandon Tatum, and more. Open debate and free speech you won't find anywhere else. Salem News Channel, not like the other guys. Watch anytime on any screen, free 24/7. Find everything you need to know at snc.tv. That's snc.tv.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Tony Dreyfus, founder and president of Metropolis Coffee Company and a proud new customer of Signature Bank. We're a 19-year-old specialty coffee roaster located in the heart of Chicago. Some of your favorite restaurants and cafes serve our coffee. As a small business manufacturer, we understand the importance of working with the right bank, and that's why we made the move to Signature Bank. We were tired of the impersonal service that our large bank had provided. A friend referred us to Signature Bank, and their team was on site to understand our operations firsthand. They provided us the working capital to continue our successful business operations and to fuel our ambitions for innovation and growth. We now have the flexibility to grow at our own pace. That personal touch, you can't find that at a large bank, but we found it at Signature, and we can't thank them enough.
Signature Bank helps local businesses succeed. Let Signature Bank turn your business vision into reality. Visit signaturebank.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. There's a crime committed on Capitol Hill as October opens. 10 alleged Republicans, led by Matt Gaetz of Florida, joined with every Democrat present to oust Kevin McCarthy from the job of Speaker. Gates' motive is said to be an effort to divert attention from his growing ethics scandal and to raise money by grabbing airtime. McCarthy is the most effective Speaker the Republicans have had since Mr. Newt. McCarthy notched a huge win over big-spending Democrats and the president this summer, but the knuckleheads didn't want to win. We want to thank Kevin McCarthy for decades of service. Inspired by Ronald Reagan to enter politics, McCarthy is one of the genuinely decent and widely admired elected officials in a town full of just the opposite. We hope McCarthy continues to serve all of the people he can and has done so for so long. He's always played the long game successfully. Some, if not all, the 10 coups will be purged by the GOP incrementally, and the GOP majority will continue to depend on McCarthy and his remarkable team for guidance and calm, effective, sage wisdom. Thank you, Speaker McCarthy.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, NFL weekend. Who did that Kansas City Chiefs play this weekend? I hope they have a bye so I don't have to see Taylor Swift again.
Oh, no, Kansas City's playing Minneapolis. And the mayor of Minneapolis sent a letter to Taylor Swift's camp saying, Taylor, please, if you can, come to Minneapolis. We want you here. We'd love to have you here. She's done so much for the economy. I mean, do you understand that Taylor Swift has affected the GDP of the United States of America with her tour this year?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is unbelievable. And
there was a seismic shift at one of her concerts because people were jumping up and down.
Yeah, that was in the Midwest. Heavier girls.
Yeah. Stop.
But the money she brings in is ridiculous. And I said we're going to find out if she really loves Travis Kelce or if this is just a publicity stunt, because what woman wants to go to Minneapolis?
Oh, hey, so Kelce, by the way, is just letting the NFL know that they need to calm down about Taylor Swift.
You got to calm down.
This is what he said with
What's
his
a Taylor
brother.
Swift song?
What is your honest opinion on how the NFL is treating celebrities at games?
I think it's fun when they show who all is at the game. You know, I think it brings a little bit more to the atmosphere, brings a little bit more to what you're watching. But at the same time, I think
they're overdoing it.
They're overdoing it a little bit for sure, especially my situation.
Right.
I think they're just trying to have fun with it, and a lot of the people watching. Go ahead, let's hear it.
I just think the NFL is not used to celebrities coming to the games.
That's not true.
Like basketball has it figured out. They're all courtside. They're sitting there. They show them once or twice, and then they get back to the game. The NFL is like, oh, look at all these A-list celebrities in the game. You keep showing them, show them. Dude, listen. You show them once, let them know that they're there. Maybe after a touchdown, you get a little clip, but you can't be overboard with it.
Yeah.
People are there to watch the game, right?
Yeah, they're not there to get thrown on TV. I'll tell you what, though, it is.
You said it is burned. Like you can't eat a cheeseburger because they keep cutting to you.
He gained 400,000 Twitter followers during that game. Not Twitter followers, Instagram followers during the game.
And then after.
And then his jersey sales went up like 700%. And it's cool. You know, it's cool that NFL football player gave her a break because she needed it. She's
right.
Up in a little bit in obscurity and everything
So you
else.
know Taylor Swift and you know her mom. And do you think that this is just to gain publicity, gain followers for the NFL?
I really don't know.
Or do you think this is a real relationship?
I really don't know because she certainly doesn't need the publicity. And the funny thing is, and this is the crazy thing, every time you see her, whatever she's wearing is a hint at a new video, a next album. She calls it dropping Easter eggs. And my girl totally knows about all this, Gina.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Taylor Swift lunatic. And I'm like, she's a marketing genius, so she knows what she's doing. And a lot of this here is to get her reputation back. And a lot of this stems from that Kanye West thing. Remember that?
Oh, that's right. When he, yep.
So she was dating a guy named Joe Alwyn. And most people, most Swifties like Joe. And I'm sorry if I sound like I know too much about this. Trust me, I do.
You totally do.
But I was one of the first guys in radio to play Taylor Swift when she was 13 years old. I know her, and I know her mother really well. And she's a really nice person. She doesn't think politically like we do, but nobody her age really does, and that is a problem. The Republicans, love her or hate her, you can say you don't want to hear about it, but you better find somebody that can mobilize a base like she can.
All right. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Biden makes a U-turn on his border wall, and it's such a burden to be mayor. Now, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
The FAD meeting with City Council members today. WIND Chicago News Time, 6.
Jim Jordan gets a boost. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The House Judiciary Committee chairman, who's now running for House Speaker, endorsed by former President Trump.
Posting on social media, he's strong on crime, the borders, the military, and the Second Amendment. Representative Jordan earlier telling Fox's Hannity,
someone's got to be able to come forward, unite the Republicans around our message, around what we're doing for the American people, and go take that message to the country and deliver it in a compelling, succinct way, which I think I can do.
The House is expected to vote on a replacement for ousted Speaker Kevin McCarthy next week.
It's Fox's Jack Callahan. The House Majority Leader Steve Scalise is also a candidate for Speaker. A woman imprisoned in Iran for advocating women's rights there has won the Nobel Peace Prize. Nargis Mohammadi, the Nobel Committee chair's Berit Rees Anderson, says they're honoring Mohammadi in a growing protest against oppression in Iran.
Many have described what has happened during the last year as a revolution.
The Biden administration is taking another step to dealing with a record surge of illegal immigration, planning to resume deporting Venezuelan migrants. Not long after extending temporary protected status to Venezuelans who came here illegally before July 31st. Meanwhile, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas insisted while in Mexico,
there is no new administration policy with respect to the border wall.
Despite planning to build up to 20 miles of wall in Texas, restarting construction, President Biden stopped. He claims he didn't want to build a new wall, but by law he had to.
And now his own party is turning on him. New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez leading the progressive pushback, saying, quote, the Biden administration was not required to expand construction of the border wall, and they certainly were not required to waive several environmental laws to expedite the building.
That's Fox's Brooke Sigmund. Cortez is calling on the Biden administration to reverse course. America's listening to Fox.
53 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. DJ Moore put together a career night, leading the Bears over the Washington Commanders on Thursday Night Football, 40-20. University of Maryland wideout came home, put on a show, 8 receptions, 230 yards, and 3 scores. Bears QB1 Justin Fields on the total team effort.
It's a feeling that you just never wanted to end. So, just proud of the way, all the guys came out and played tonight. And, O-line did their thing versus the dominant D-line.
Bears head coach Matt Eberflus says it was the defense that stood out.
Yeah, just pinning their ears back, right? In their approach angle, their move area, just doing the basics of rush. And, those guys are starting to work together more. And I think the continuity's starting to gel and be there, so hopefully we can build upon that.
Bears legend and NFL Hall of Famer Dick Butkus has died at the age of 80. Linebacker spent his entire career with the Bears after being drafted by the team in 1965, making 8 Pro Bowls.
I just the attitude that, look, this is a violent game, poor guys.
He was named to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1979.
The Bears, and I've heard it myself from different people, is that they better get ready, and that's all the respect that I need. If I was an animal, jerk, acid, or whatever, I didn't care.
Butkus played for several years in the NFL and then launched an entertainment career in Hollywood. Dick Butkus, dead at the age of 80. Former Northwestern football coach Pat Fitzgerald is suing the university for $130 million for wrongful termination. Fitzgerald's lawyer is Dan Webb.
You put young men in a locker room, do they sometimes engage in behavior that someone could say on a given day they were being difficult with each other? Players sometimes do that.
Northwestern officials reportedly told Fitzgerald initially this summer that if he accepted a short suspension, there would be no termination. A 14-year-old boy is in critical condition after shooting himself in the head on the south side. Police are investigating a homicide in Aurora. They say it took place yesterday in the 100 block of North Calhoun. The Blackhawks unable to get it done in regular time and lost in a shootout to the Wild in the preseason, 3-2. Fighting Illini back on the Memorial Stadium grass. They look for their first conference win as they take on Nebraska tonight. The news, a service of the Pride stores. With 17 locations, including their newest mobile gas station, the Pride of Villa Park. The Pride stores, not your typical convenience store. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Freedom Summit Chicago tickets are now on sale. Join AM 560, The Answer, on November 11th at the Westin Chicago Northwest for Freedom Summit, featuring Rand Paul, Judge Janine Pirro from Fox News, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thompson, and many more. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Lil's Dietary Shop, Blue Star Security, and by Hope Wins 7.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
All right, this just in. Pure Talk just added more 5G data to every plan and is now including a mobile hotspot with no price increase at all whatsoever. Just $20 a month for unlimited talk, unlimited text, and now 50% more 5G data, plus you get mobile hotspot. Start saving today. Go to puretalk.com, enter the promo code Sean, S-E-A-N, to make the switch to Pure Talk, and you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. That's puretalk.com, promo code Sean.
Hey there, Charlie Kirk here. You've probably been hearing my colleagues and I talking about investing with Why Refi for a while now. You may have some questions, so let's review. It's true, you can earn up to 10.25% fixed rate of return that's not correlated to the stock market or the Fed. You could turn your income on or off, compound it whatever you choose, and there are absolutely no fees. There's no attack on principal if you ever need your money back, and you'll get your monthly statement with no surprises. Just go to investwhyrefi.com. That's invest the letter Y and then REFY.com, or call 888-YREFY24. Folks, this is a solid investment that actually helps people. Just go to investwhyrefi.com. That's invest the letter Y and then REFY.com, or call 888-YREFY24 and tell them that Charlie Kirk sent you. So call 888-YREFY24. Solid investment. It really helps people. Call 888-YREFY24 and tell them that Charlie Kirk sent you.
6:07. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time is a service of Advanced Design Studio. Thinking of a home renovation? Not sure where to go? Check out Common Sense Remodeling at Advanced Design Studio, online at advanceddesignstudio.com. Kennedy inbound now at 35 O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Ike in 29-390 to the old post office. Inbound Dan Ryan, 15 minutes, 95th into the Burns Circle interchange. The Reagan, watch out in Kane County. An exit ramp closed due to an accident. That's westbound on the Reagan, I-88, right at Route 56. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Andy Robb.
Sunshine and clouds for today with a passing shower in the afternoon, high 60. An evening shower in spots, otherwise cloudy for tonight, low 44. Breezy and cool with clouds and sunshine for Saturday, high tomorrow, 57. I'm Andy Robb on AM 560, The Answer.
53 at O'Hare. Next news at 6:30. Breaking news as it happens. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by IDT. Eliminate paper files with the IoT Smart Connected Scanning Device. Find them at ready4IDT.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Thanks for letting me borrow some of your bass this morning. My eyes were a little puffy, and I know we're on TV here, so.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Ramblin' Ray or Ray Stevens.
Whatever you want to call me. If you're from West Chicago, you can call me Ray Staskell. Some guys in Franklin Park call me Jimmy the Toucan. Don't worry about that. Call me whatever you want.
All right. Well, you were here filling in for Dan Proft this morning.
Nobody can fill in for Dan. Nobody.
That's true. Yes. He's fly fishing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Really?
Now, have you been to Jacksonville?
First place I ever was arrested was Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Okay. Follow-up question. What did you do, Ray, to get arrested?
I was in a bar called the $1 Million Cowboy Bar, and I was only 19 years old. And we decided after being in the bar at 19 years old and having a couple beers, you know, you're 19, a couple beers, you feel like you're on top of the world.
You're invincible.
And I went out and I went into the park right across the I guess you would call it the Jackson Hole Village Square, where they've got all the elk horns. And I, for some reason, thought I'd grab a pair of elk horns to bring home. And I was hanging on it, and the cop's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Uh-oh." And he's like, "Get down." And I stayed up there a little too long hanging. And he's like, "Hey, guess what? You're going to spend the night in jail." And I did. With a bunch of drunk cowboys. It was probably worse than being at 26 in California.
Really?
These cowboys don't mess around.
Were there any fights?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Did you sleep on like a stainless
steel
cot?
It wasn't bad, but, you pay a $50 fine for being a little disorderly. You know what? He probably did me a favor.
Because you turned your life around.
No. My
or
life
you
was,
just didn't drink yourself blind.
No, I probably, what if I drove home or something stupid that night? I'm 19 years old, but I love Jackson Hole and fly fishing out there. Ooh. I mean, I'm more apt to ride my dirt bike out there or go snowmobiling in high marks and mountains,
But it's really that pretty there. Yeah, he's on a brocation.
Tying a little fly on a piece of line, that's kind of
I think, you know what? He needs to relax, decompress.
Can he relax?
I don't know. He tweets a lot when he's on vacation, which when I'm on vacation, I try
Let
to
it go.
separate. Let it go.
Let it go, man.
No one's going to,
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, can you follow me on Twitter again? Because
I just did.
somebody hacked into my
I did
account.
this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody, so.
I had 38,000 followers, and I had 15 years of work. Most of the 3 years during COVID when Governor Pritzker wasn't looking too good, when he'd lose his you-know-what on me and start shaking his hands and rolling his eyes.
Right.
And we paid somebody to try. Well, I have a friend who's a negotiator to try and get it back, and he said it's non-negotiable. They will not negotiate.
That's odd because,
And he goes, somebody with big pockets paid to take over your account.
Yeah, probably a Pritzker. Well, that's what you get. You're fighting everybody all the time. You got to just, step in line.
If they can't silence you by taking away your press pass or trying to get you fired from your CPS coaching job, they will take over your Twitter.
You got AM 560 the answer. This thing's a blowtorch. You don't need
Yeah.
whatever the hell they call it now, X. Although I like Elon Musk, man. I think he's something. Went to the border the other day.
I know he went to the border.
Yeah.
And Mayor Eric Adams is at the border this morning. Well, he's in the Darien Gap. That's the section between South America and North America.
Well, I thought it was between 63rd and 75th Street.
No.
They're Downers Grove.
Where is my Mayor Adams bite that I had here? Because I have so much sound.
Isn't it
on
something?
the
While
wall.
you look for that bite, let me just say, isn't it something that we were woke and we were welcoming and we were a welcoming city and we're a sanctuary city and you can all come here because hate has no home here. And then we all became border towns. We all became border communities and people started showing up and they lost their crap. They don't know what to do. Everybody now is living in a police station. They dropped them off last night at the Sears Tower. I understand that there's room at the Signature Room for migrants,
yes.
asylum seekers, whatever the hell you want to call
And I'm so glad we're having Alderman Hopkins on at 7:35 because that's in his ward.
Yeah.
They didn't know they were coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to talk to him about that. But here's Eric Adams. So we've got Mayor Adams from New York City already down there doing the work, telling migrants, "Don't come.
Right.
Please stay here. You're not going to have a posh, lovely life if you come to New York City because they have 122,000. That's bigger than Mount Prospect and Prospect Heights and Schaumburg put together that have come just in the last year.
Giving them false hopes and there's a body of people who are there that are giving them false hopes and false promises. We want to give people a true picture of what is here. We're going to tell them that coming to New York doesn't mean you're going to stay in a 5-star hotel. It doesn't mean that the mere fact you come here, you automatically are going to be allowed to work.
And then we have our mayor who's still deciding when he cannot make it to the border because, he's got children. Okay, he's got kids, and we'll get to that in a second. But this is, he's going to the border to encourage more people to come, which is sickening.
So going to the border is to make sure that everybody knows that my administration is committed to making sure that we are putting together the full force of government at every single level. Our, hope is that we will continue to get more resources and a stronger commitment from the federal government to be able to provide us with the support that the people of Chicago need.
Yeah.
No, it's untenable. It won't work.
I know, but you get what you voted for. And we are still on pins and needles, the Amundsen Fieldhouse, waiting whether or not that they're going to take that over. There are now 400 migrants. So they want to kick out a football league, youth football league, 4 different basketball leagues, senior programs, and give that to the migrants. And people in the black community, they say it's so much better than us white folks. They really take it to them.
We have a hard no for immigrants coming here. A very hard no.
We come in a community of black people where we already get the low scraps. And then you want to take the little scraps, the resources that we have, and put us at the bottom of the barrel? That's not fair. And
it's not fair. We are taxpayers.
They treat us like we're invisible, like we don't even exist.
We haven't heard a word from you, Mayor Brandon Johnson, about our community.
And I talked to the alderman yesterday, who's, that the field house is in his ward, and he's still waiting to hear from Brandon Johnson because so many people complained, and that video that our friend Mark took of the football team in pads, in their uniforms, coming through the meeting, it was brilliant. And the dads are saying, you're telling me that my son can't play football? You're telling me I paid my taxes. I've lived here my whole life. It was so brilliant. And it was organic. It wasn't, they're like, you know what? We're outside playing football. We're going into that meeting. And that's what they did.
I think once you – I was talking to Alderman Lopez, now running for Chewy Garcia's spot in Congress.
Be careful when you start your car.
Different
story.
But he and I know that Ray is more like us than he isn't. But he thinks that now there could be a degradation of the Democratic Party in Chicago, finally, because it's been this way so long. You just put somebody over there. We're going to get the unions to vote this way. We're going to tell the block captains how you're going to vote. But for the first time ever, when you do stuff like this and when you got people like this mad, this is why it pisses me off that Speaker McCarthy gets ousted, because I don't want that going on right now. I want the focus on all the bad stuff that's going on.
Republicans were finally winning on the economy, on the border, and then that happened.
Never underestimate the Republican and the GOP's ability to screw up something good.
But do you think that this is going to wake up Democrats? I mean, you had to make Democrats feel the pain and feel the burden of their own choices, because that's what's happening. And then you have this idiot mayor who should grow a pair. If I was a woman and I said what I'm about to play, if I said this, I would lose my job.
Just to clarify, when is a team?
Soon as possible. Look, I'm still running a major city. I have children who attend schools who have soccer games, y'all. You all are asking me as if I'm not a parent in this city. I get it. I'm mayor. I get it. But you're asking me to give you a date, and I have to court. Do you understand that you have not had a mayor like me? I get that. I have a wife. I have children. They have schedules. And plus, we still have public safety that we have to address. We still have the unhoused that we have to address. I still have a budget that I have to address. And I'm doing all of that with a black wife raising 3 black children on the west side of the city of Chicago. I am going to the border as soon as possible. But I got to coordinate that with running the government and making sure that my wife and children are secure as well. Thank you, Lawrence.
Can you make sure that my wife and children are secure as well? I mean, does he know that Rahm Emanuel had children, that M. Daley and Jay Daley had children, and that Lori Lightfoot had children?
That's a slap at Lori Lightfoot. That's a slap at her right there. And you know what? That speaks to his constituency, because they're supposed to be inclusive and woke, and he's basically saying that Lori Lightfoot's family, though she's married to another woman and they have a child, is not seen as a family. That's a slap at her and a slap at that entire community.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. If any woman, career woman, said that, well, I can't do this. Don't you know that? I mean, I have soccer scheduled.
Right.
he's pouting like like a biatch.
Here's what I want to know.
Grow up. I can't. I mean, he is so over his skis in this position.
He went to Aurora University, a Christian university in Aurora. Aurora University.
Okay, wasn't he born in Elgin?
He's from Elgin. He's from the western suburbs. I mean, now don't tell me you're like some city dweller from the west side, with you and your fellas, because I'm not buying that.
All right, so here's what happened yesterday, because this whole border wall U-turn that Biden's taking. So DHS secretary went down to the border and claimed, that this is what a statement that he released, that there's an acute and immediate need for the wall, and they're gutting all environmental regulations to build one. There's 26 laws on the book that they are going to bypass in order to build this wall. So you won't believe this, America, but the Biden administration is admitting that President Trump was right. And here's Biden on the border.
I'll answer one question on the border wall. The border wall, the money was appropriated for the border wall. I tried to get them to redirect that money. They didn't. They wouldn't. And in the meantime, there's nothing under the law other than they have to use the money for what it was appropriated. I can't stop that.
Do you believe the border wall works?
No.
Do you believe the border wall works? And the idiot says, no.
He thinks Borders is somewhere you go to get a book. He doesn't.
And then KJP was, pressed by NBC's Peter Alexander.
Look, I can speak for the president. The president said he was asked directly. He doesn't believe a border wall is effective.
Does he have a disagreement with his Department of Homeland Security secretary?
What I can tell you, what the president, I want to tell you what the president said and what your colleague asked him. He said, no, he doesn't believe that the border wall is effective.
Speaking in direct contradiction to what his own
I know, I hear you.
Secretary
I hear
says.
you. I'm speaking for the president. I'm saying that he has said that he does not believe a border wall is effective. That's what he was asked. He has said that for some time now, and it still remains to be the case. He asked, right? He asked Congress multiple times. His team has asked Congress to reappropriate the funds. They refused to do that. We're going to comply by law.
You asked the president on our behalf then, in the absence of our ability to do that, whether he disagrees with the statement that there is presently an acute and immediate need to construct.
I'm happy to take that back.
I mean, my head was spinning yesterday. And then CNN actually put a montage together of the campaign promise that Biden and Harris made back in 2020. We would never build a wall.
Trump campaigned on build that wall. Are you willing to tear that wall down?
No, there will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
We've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
She was in charge of, fixing the
border
czar,
right?
Yeah. And she never went to the border.
She's also our new gun czar, right?
Yeah, and then Joe Biden was tapped with trying to solve cancer when he was vice president.
Well, he was going to cure it, I know.
I mean, cure cancer. Yeah. Sorry. What did I even say? I don't even know. 312-642-5600. Turnkey.pro answer. All right, then you've got President Trump, remember?
We need the wall, and it has to be built, and we want to build it fast. We're going to build the wall. It's going to be built, and we have to build the wall. And by the way, the wall is being built. That's
Yeah, but, border walls don't work.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the part, it's starting in Starr County. It's near Eagle Pass, where tens of thousands of people are just illegally crossing. If we had something to deter them from coming in, like a wall, maybe we wouldn't have to deal with this, because it's getting real. I mean, Lakeshore, if you go down Irving Park, LSD, there's bikes that are unlocked, Quinn, if you want to grab one for your son. And they took the old British school, they turned that into a shelter for migrants. There's garbage everywhere.
Well,
if we give you things, can you at least clean up after yourselves?
How about
Is that too much to ask? And then there's the Inn of Chicago, a block away from the Magnificent Mile. 3 meals a day. They have nice clothes that are donated to them. The top of the line car seats and strollers. I was there last week, but there's so many people loitering around.
Well, that's why
drugs.
Your African American community is pissed, because they don't get this. They don't get this in their neighborhoods, and they don't. And you see,
but they deserve it.
But absolutely,
right?
They do. But that's the thing, and you know who's really pissed is the people that come here and they do it the right way. They stand in line for 12 years. They do it the right way. They don't jump the line, and I think it's an affront to them that we allow this to happen. And you're starting to see it with Eric Adams. You see, Eric Adams is finally getting it right. He knows it's untenable that this continues. I don't know what Mayor Brandon Johnson is doing. He's just crazy because going down there and say, yeah, come on back, he's got to listen to what his constituents are saying because it'll be a short term for mayor for him.
I mean, you have very liberal, progressive, even Marxist aldermen that are telling him, no, stop. This needs to end now. And he's not doing it.
You know, when
we have to start with stopping. We have to start with the title of that we're a welcoming city.
Yeah,
that's where it begins.
But it felt so good to say it, didn't it? When nobody was coming here, and Lori Lightfoot would get in front of everybody and go, "You know what we are? We're inclusive, and it's DEI, right? DEI." You know, and I always thought DEI stood for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, and I wish it still did because you know some things that are good in theory aren't necessarily good in practice, and this is one of them.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Let's go to, this is a rare phone call. The Amish texter is on the line. He's from Genoa City, Wisconsin. Hold on. I got to lean over and get that. There you go.
By the way, WIND #1 in the Amish radio review this month.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got that right. No longer from Genoa City. Unfortunately, had a guy leave. I had to go back down to South Elgin. I'm still living in Huntley, though. But, yeah, calling you on the string and tin can line, as Dan likes to say. You know, I figured out why Biden did this reversal of, these xenophobic, racist policies with the border wall by Trump. This time, it's to keep the illegal migrants in from his bill policies.
That's good. Thank you. Thanks, Rich.
Appreciate
it. Let's go to Rich in Indian Head Park here on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, good morning, Amy. Morning, Ray. How you doing today?
Doing well, baby.
What I wanted to say is I have a couple of things real quick. Number one is the reason why Biden is finally doing something is because all these so-called sanctuary cities are getting fed up with all these illegals being shipped to them, and so he needs to show that he's doing something. Otherwise, he's going to lose votes. They're going to start blaming everything on him. And the second thing is, as white as Brandon Johnson feel he has to tell us he has a black wife and 3 black kids. Shouldn't we know that? I mean, it's right there.
I know. I mean,
But
he has to
anyway.
insert race into everything. Yeah, we know you're black.
Right.
Yeah, we know your wife's black. So what? Who cares?
It's and
He
it
acts
really
like it's some rarity.
I'm
there's black people in Chicago. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know what I am today because I could be whatever I want. I can identify as whatever I want, can I?
Yeah, you can.
You know, you told
You could be non-binary.
Yeah,
You could be
moments ago you told Brandon Johnson to grow a set, and today I think you can, right?
You're right.
Right. My mom always used to say to me,
Implants, Ray.
you don't know what it's like to carry you around for 9 months with you and your twin sister. And I'm like, you're triggering me because I've been trying to get pregnant for 56 years, and I can't.
Let's go to Catherine in DuPage County. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Amy and Ray. I was calling with a bit of a tangent here. This situation nudges me to think that Chicago needs to put in a recall provision for mayor. I mean, it should have been a while ago for things that we've already been through. I don't live in the city, but so with this fool now, instead of sitting here or staying here and dealing with this problem, he goes off to the border for a jaunt, a free jaunt, probably on the taxpayer's dime. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't decided to because he's got to check with his kid's soccer schedule to see.
Well, DuPage County. I remember when DuPage County used to be Republican, and then COVID happened, and everybody moved out and brought their voting ways with them. Gosh darn
so
you!
Sorry.
Go back
but
to
back
where you
to
came
Brandon Johnson. So when he was a very reliable source, told the show, and this source has never led me awry, said that he was renting an Airbnb in Lombard while he was running for mayor. Have you seen his house, by the way?
No.
Oh, I'll show you a picture in the break. There's weeds growing out of the gutter. He didn't pay his water bill. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
For it's 18 months, and then he got on a payment plan, and he still didn't pay his water bill. It's water, so it's a necessity to live, to cook with, to clean with, to brush your teeth with, to drink. So that makes me think that he's been living in Lombard for a long time.
He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that could work too much around the house.
We got a great text message that said, well, yeah, take care of your house. That's an eyesore. Shame on him. Ray and Amy, he's going to move out of the city of Chicago the second that he's not mayor.
Well, I agree. I agree.
And he'll move back to the western suburbs.
I like this one. Amy, they are illegal aliens, not immigrants. This is an invasion. Admit it, then say it. Here's what I say to that.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile
Never
app.
cut me off.
Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE, Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I retired 3 years ago, and I've been hearing your ads on the radio for years. And finally, when I moved, I went through this flurry of activity, and all of a sudden, after a couple months after the painting was done and the unpacking and the putting away and everything, because I moved to a different state, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get some of that and try it. I'm telling you, it was like I was a whole new person. I could have given a 3-year-old a run for his money.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer with Ray Stevens, who's filling in for Dan Proft today. Love to have you here.
Hey, hey.
We're rocking and rolling. Is Joe Biden buying the 2024 election? We'll explain, but now let's head into that newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
53 degrees at 6:32, and we're watching a slow-motion disaster develop in India this morning. Rescuers are digging through slushy debris and fast-moving icy water in search for survivors after a glacial lake burst through a dam in India's Himalayan northeast. The flooding has killed at least 41. There are thousands missing and thousands fleeing from their homes. Imprisoned Iranian human rights activist Narges Mohammadi, the winner of the 2023 Nobel Peace Prize. Races on to replace the now former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, whose House members booted this week. Ohio Representative Jim Jordan vying for the spot, joining Fox News.
In 40 days, the stopgap spending measure runs out. We have to have a plan as a conference again. When we elect our new speaker, we have to have a plan that 218 of us support on how we're going to deal with that. How are we going to deal with when we get to November? We can't have the same thing unfold that unfolded last week.
He says the border, inflation, crime are all top of list if he becomes Speaker. The U.S. resuming direct deportation flights of Venezuelan immigrants. On Thursday, a Biden administration official announced any illegal Venezuelans who cross the border and do not establish a legal basis to remain will be flown back to their home country immediately. DJ Moore put together a career night. Bears over the Commanders 40-20. 3 touchdowns for DJ Moore. Bear quarterback Justin Fields on the total team effort on the offensive side.
It's a feeling that you just never wanted to end. So, just proud of the way, all the guys came out and played tonight. And, O-line did their thing versus the dominant D-line.
Cole Kmet also scored for Chicago while kicker Cairo Santos went 4 for 4. The Vikings are next. Bears legend and NFL Hall of Famer Dick Butkus has died at the age of 80. The linebacker spent his entire career with the Bears after being drafted by the team in 1965, making 8 Pro Bowls. Former Northwestern football coach Pat Fitzgerald is suing the university for $130 million over wrongful termination. Police are investigating a homicide in Aurora, where a man was found shot yesterday in the 100 block of North Calhoun. Blackhawks unable to get it done in the shootout in a 3-2 preseason loss against the Wild at the UC. Chicago wraps up the preseason against St. Louis on the road tomorrow night. Bulls open up the preseason with a game against the Bucks on Sunday. Fighting Illini back at it in the Big Ten. The footballers will take on Nebraska at Memorial Stadium tonight. The news, a service of Dan and Amy 24/7, around the clock, all day, every day. Listen now, danandamy247.com. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Freedom Summit Chicago tickets are now on sale. Join AM 560, The Answer, on November 11th at the Westin Chicago Northwest for Freedom Summit, featuring Rand Paul, Judge Janine Pirro from Fox News, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thompson, and many more. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by St. John's Lutheran School in Lombard, Tom Miraboli, independent insurance agent with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, and by overheaddoorchicago.com.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I retired 3 years ago, and I've been hearing your ads on the radio for years. And finally, when I moved, I went through this flurry of activity, and all of a sudden, after a couple months after the painting was done and the unpacking and the putting away and everything, because I moved to a different state, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get some of that and try it. I'm telling you, it was like I was a whole new person. I could have given a 3-year-old a run for his money.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family.
6:38, let's get an update on the roads. We do that in the Team Hochberg Traffic Center, a service of Wendy's new Pumpkin Spice Frosty. Well, it's peak fall, and it'll make any kind of fall fun even fallier. So no matter how you fall, grab a rich, creamy, pumpkin spice Frosty from Wendy's today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty, by the way, is temporarily unavailable. Inbound Edens, 28 minutes. Lake Cook Road to the junction. Kennedy, 45. O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Watch out. Accident. Left lane blocked on the Kennedy end between Montrose and Sacramento. Inbound Ike, 43, 390 to the old post office. Stevenson into DuSable Lakeshore Drive, 41 minutes. 95th, from 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. 95th in on the Dan Ryans, 21 minutes this morning. And the Reagan right now, an exit ramp closed with an accident westbound 88, the Reagan at Route 56. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast, windy and cooler. We'll have clouds and sun throughout the day with a passing shower in the evening and a high near 60. 53 right now. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Health Quest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. Saturday mornings at 11. Visit healthquestradio.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
All right, good Friday morning. Ray Stevens, otherwise known as Ramblin' Ray.
Yeah, you know what? You can call me whatever.
Is in for Dan Proft.
Yeah.
How'd you get Ramblin' Ray again?
It's a long story. It's a long story.
Can I have the Cliff Notes?
I was working with Joe Collins.
Okay,
Remember Joe Collins? He was a traffic guy.
Yeah.
I was doing stupid stuff in the suburbs, working for a suburban radio station, going out, hanging out with friends and, listeners. And we came back on the air one day, and he's like, that Ray is just a rambling guy, kind of like the old Steve Martin bit, and it stuck.
Okay.
So we've kept it ever since.
But that's your moniker. Do you like to be called Rambling Ray?
You drop the G. You leave that off for savings. It's Ramblin' apostrophe. No, whatever. Radio has had some fun and stupid twisting turns. You can just call me Ray.
You got to do country music radio.
Yeah, it was fun. It was.
That's one thing I never got to do. Never. I mean, it was always conservative. Talk, which is fine. I'm happy, but I'm just saying I never got to do the radio station where you play songs.
Oh, you play songs, you have fun, you hang out with artists, and then you find out what they're really like, and you find out that Nashville is nothing but a liberal music bastion of wokeness, and you have to leave it.
Yeah, but there's some artists that live in Nashville that are conservative.
Jason Aldean, rock star. John Rich, friend of mine, great guy. But, you've got people like Maren Morris. I don't know if you've heard about the dust up Maren Morris is like, she's leaving Nashville because, she was the one that got into a big tay-to-tay with Jason Aldean and Jason Aldean's wife, because Jason Aldean's wife has got a huge following all over social media. She's beautiful. She's got her own brand. And she made a comment that said, I'm glad that when I went through my tomboy phase, my mom and dad didn't get me any kind of a reassignment surgery, and they let me be a tomboy, but now I love being a girly girl. Well, Nashville's left went nuts over that.
Why? That's so true.
But
I have so many friends that, because I played sports.
Yeah.
And I was a tomboy.
Oh, no.
And I did not. If I had a choice, I would have been a dude, because you don't want that monthly visit. Trust me.
No, when I first met you, I said, that's dude. And then I... No, here. But it's so woke in Nashville, and the crazy thing is that they sell you on this American flags, and we're going to sit on the back of the pickup truck down the dusty dirt road.
Boots.
And that's just such a it's a sales pitch of crap, and that's just a fact.
And they have a Democratic mayor though in Nashville.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Nashville is very, very liberal, very liberal.
Oh, that's too bad.
Sorry to break your bubble.
It's all right, but every time I go down to Nashville, it's just you're crashing somebody's bachelorette party.
Oh.
I mean, my God, I have never ever seen so many bachelorette parties.
No.
And everyone's wearing the same thing.
Yeah.
The cowboy boots, the skirt, and the veil.
And a penis sash.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to have that.
But it was funny because I'd ask, they'd be drunk. I was walking down the street with my mom and my sisters, and we'd be like, are you making the right decision? Like, we'd be street
Preachers.
preachers asking them, does he treat you well? I mean, I'm not kidding you, because these people are, oh, you guys are so tall. Are you twins? And like, who cares about that? Do you see this relationship lasting? What do you love about him? How does he treat
Why would
your
you
mother?
ask somebody that? Why would you do that? I mean, she's grilling. She's grilling poor Justin.
Loved it.
Justin's getting married in there. The poor kid's getting grilled.
He's getting married a week from tomorrow. I'm very nervous about this wedding.
Yeah. Why?
Why? Because I'm a professional worrier.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my
Well,
bachelor's degree in worrying.
What the hell good
worrying
is that?
101 I aced.
Yeah.
I know, it's horrible. It's just a gene we have. It's awful, but I'm just, Justin, just tell me it's going to be okay.
Than I am.
I know. I mean, I know you love Bethany, but I'm just worried about the other family aspects of this wedding.
Well, we're taking care of that today, so hopefully,
well, at least-
hopefully that will mend over. Maybe.
Hey, the best advice I can give you is try to do everything on social media. If you got a problem with somebody, put it out there on social media.
Yeah, that's the advice that you're not going to.
Yeah.
And I'm really mad that Dan's not going to the wedding. He's going to be in town.
Oh my God! As a fellow guy, I give him the full right to not come. I totally understand what comes. I hate going to weddings.
But why aren't you just eloping? Oh, no,
Well,
you have to.
If you think you hated it before, wait till next week.
I am not eloping because my beautiful bride wanted a big, beautiful wedding, and of course I wanted to give her that. So one day she can't come at me and say, "You took that from me."
Now where
Good
am
for
I?
you. Good for you. And that's the way it should be for your first one.
Now where am I sitting at this wedding? I just want to know.
You're sitting with all the work gang.
So tell me who. Fill me in.
So our lovely boss over here, Eric, Mr. Quinn.
Oh, but is Eric's wife coming?
Yes.
Love her. I'm dancing with her. Okay, who? Quinn?
Quinn and his
Maybe
wife.
Maybe I'll take him or leave him. Yeah.
And then Mike Scott and his beautiful wife.
Oh, Mike, I get to spend time with Melissa. I mean, I spend so much time with you. I'd love to chat with her. All right, that'll be fun. And
Let me just give you one piece of advice.
We'll leave an empty seat open for Dan Proft
because I won't. I mean, obviously, I won't be there. I don't work with you guys. But
you just didn't get invited. Just say it.
When you're out one night and this younger, hotter girl comes walking over and starts telling you how cool you are, and just about the time you're ready to believe her, get in your car and go home. That'll be the best thing you could ever do.
Wow, Ray, what sound advice.
If I would have done that, I'd have had 2 more houses.
All right, we're going to bring another married man into this. Jim Urio, you know him, love him. He's in charge of the Future's Edge podcast and a regular contributor to the show. Mr. Urio, how are you?
Good. I was wondering how you were going to pivot to me and talk about like financial stuff from this conversation. Frankly, I'd rather go with your conversation. I think it's pretty much.
All right,
pretty much more fun.
I have 2 things. What's some advice for Justin and his soon-to-be wife, and then what's the financial advice you have for both of them?
Okay, for Justin, the advice is this: never win an argument.
Yes.
Never try to win. There's no winning in marriage, and people will tell you. Tell them what you really feel. No, never tell them what you really feel. Particularly if what you really feel is crazy. And that's what's in my head a lot of times. I've had great success by keeping my mouth shut and losing arguments. Does that make sense?
That completely makes sense. And I didn't do that the first time around, but the second time around, you just need to not say everything. And it goes both ways. So how long have you been married?
Me, 33 years.
See, and is that the secret? Just to not...
Oh, yeah, shut your yap. Exactly the secret.
Yeah.
Don't think everything needs to be resolved.
Make sure she has a she shed. Get out to the garage every now and then. Go out and have a smoke even if you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I believe that, you still need to have your own time and your own hobbies. All right, so what financial advice would you have? Should they commingle funds?
Of course. I think so. I think if you made the decision to get married, I think that when people don't commingle funds, I have plenty of friends who don't, and plenty of very, very wealthy friends who sign prenups and things like that, and that's fine. But I think that it always, in the back of your head, is this question. I think you're either 100% in, you're 100% out. If you're not 100% in, then don't get married, is my opinion on that. Find my wife, who was a lawyer and a tax lawyer, might have different opinions about that based on some of her clients. But, I'm Italian. If you're going to take me for my money, whatever.
But do you have a secret squirrel account on the side for things that she doesn't know about?
Okay, so I don't know if I can talk about this on the air, but remember, I was in the financial business and trading floors in the 90s and the aughts, and there was a lot of stuff that was going on. You've seen the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Oh, yeah.
They were like sex secondarily is crazy to us in Chicago. So I will not speak anything on air, but maybe someday I'll write a book when the statute of limitations is all gone down.
Everybody needs a little. You know what? You need a little wham, a little walking around money in a can somewhere. And now, what about credit?
Ray,
I
I'll
mean,
tell you this.
okay.
For 10 years, I never went to a cash station, and my wife never said one word about it. So people believe what they want to believe. I'd pull out a roll of hundreds, and she would just not bat an eye. And she's very straight-laced, which I think is very, very funny. People's psychology.
I used to be able to pull out a roll of hundreds too, but that's when I was working FM.
Now, what were you going to ask him about credit?
No, I was just. What about okay? So people, and I know that you're supposed to be involved. You're supposed to be together. Every inch of the person. Their deep dark secrets. But a lot of people don't look into that person's credit, and that has a bearing going forward, doesn't it?
Oh, it certainly does. And I know particularly some men who I'd worked with, and again, I'm not saying it's just one way gender-wise, and found out after they got married about credit card debt that was, a mile high, and student loan debt that was a mile high, and people just never mentioned it. So yeah, I think that so many fights within marriages start with finances. So that's the one thing you do want to talk about. If a bill comes in the mail, ask what that bill is. Oh gosh, I just had a flashback to a memory of that about 2 weeks after we got married. But anyway.
Oh no, do
right
tell.
along.
What happened?
Well, no, I didn't. So, Margaret, you met my wife, Margaret.
Yes.
So, God, she's going to kill me, but she's from the North Shore. I'm from Palatine. I grew up 11 people in one home. We were like from an Italian ghetto. I just didn't assume there was any sort of student loan debt. I'm sorry, Margaret, if you're listening. But, we're like 2 weeks back from the honeymoon. Look at this. Oh, it's my student loan. Like, student what? I don't have student loans. I worked 40 hours a week in college. But that happened. And that was one of the first things I should have asked her before. And not that it would have made a lick of difference, but let's just move right along.
Well, no, I have a friend who, when they got married, he realized she's $127,000 in debt in student loans because she was an attorney, and she's
crazy.
working for the Cook County State's Attorney's Office as an assistant. And he said, "What do I do?" I'm like, "Well, you two have to figure it out. I mean, is she going to pay it off? Are you going to together pay it off? That's That's something that you should probably mention.
You call Uncle Joe and you try to get some of that student loan debt relief money going
so let's talk about that, because this is, a new money grab. Is this the way that President Biden is going to buy the election? He announced a $9 billion in student loan forgiveness for 125,000 borrowers. Here he is touting this new initiative.
This kind of relief is life-changing for individuals and their families, but it's good for our economy as a whole as well. By freeing millions of Americans from the crushing burden of student debt, it means they can go and get their lives in order. They can think about buying a house. They can start a business. They can be starting a family. This matters. It matters in their daily lives.
So, Jim Irio, how is this good for the economy?
Well, it's not good for the economy at a time when we're fighting inflation. And they've been doing this, the student loan forbearance, the eviction moratoriums, all those things over the last 3 years when we were fighting inflation is the exact same thing as pushing money into the economy. It's a counterbalance. It's creating worse inflation. There is zero data that suggests that the holders of these student loans are the most needy and have the highest propensity to consume if you wipe away their debt. It's asinine. But the worst part about this whole thing is that he talks about almost like there was this predatory lender. And guess what? There is a predatory lender. 12 years ago, maybe 13, the federal government took over all the student loans and took them away from banks, and then started pushing out this idea that your gender studies degree was every bit as important to society as your STEM degree. And all of these people borrowing $250,000 to go to some small private school to get a degree in Spanish. So it makes no sense. They're the predatory lender. If you look just behind the curtain even an inch, you realize that it's so schemy. And then to be able, every election cycle, to be able to dangle this in front of people and say, yeah, we're the people who might wipe out your student loan. But guess what? They're never going to wipe it out completely, because then they lose the political clout of saying they're going to before elections. But people, I guess this is what people vote for. It's very frustrating to me, obviously.
Well, who qualifies? I mean, they said 125,000 borrowers. Who are they?
This particular one, I believe, is like military, people been in public service, teachers, things like that. I think it is more slanted toward that. But again, that doesn't matter to me too. The Supreme Court has already said that that you cannot do this, and they don't care. When people believe this ideology, this religious fervor, they just completely ignore established law. And this, again, back in the Obama administration, I've written, I don't know if you've written anything I've wrote about that. There's a multitude of things to point out. But when Chrysler went bankrupt, the Obama administration came in, the seniors, going too far in the weeds with this, but let's just say this. The 100 years of bankruptcy law said the assets belonged to one class, the hedge funds who had lent Chrysler money. The Obama administration came in and just took that money away and gave it to the union. Someone like me might say, well, it's convenient that the unions voted for you and the hedge funds probably did not. But my point is that when they think, it's like the benevolent tyrant C.S. Lewis wrote about, is that they never sleep. And if they think they're doing good, everything else goes to the wind, including the law.
Hey, I'm told that you own a bar, Cugino, so let me ask you this.
Brant's in Palatine. It's a restaurant bar. It's awesome.
What is it, Brant's?
Brant's. You need to eat there. It's a great atmosphere.
I'm writing it down.
And it's wonderful food.
Yeah, I got to take the Bella Gina Marie there because I have an Italian princess and she'd love to meet you. How are the sales of Bud Light going at the bar? Is that still something that's really dragging?
Oh, yeah. It collapsed, and it never really got off the canvas. And the thing that amazes me the most about it is when people on the left were like, oh, they're this organized boycott of Bud Light. No, nobody ever said a word to each other. Just people would be like, normal Bud Light people just say, I want a Coors Light. And that was it, and that was it. They never recovered. Ray, we've talked about this on the show before. The thing that amazes me about Anheuser-Busch, about Target, about Levi's even really, Disney, it doesn't seem like they care that they're doing damage to their brand. What was more important to them at the time was to curry favor to the woke mob and the government. And they made these decisions like, you and I are not marketing execs. We could have told Bud Light if they said we're going to do this, you would have said, nah, terrible
I would have fallen on a landmine before I'd let that happen. I mean,
right.
So, but I mean, are you selling a case a day, a case a week, and not even that?
I bet it's less than half of what it was, and I don't know the exact numbers. It was, I think it was our big, Walt does most of the inventory stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it was our best-selling bottle. I don't do the real work.
I know. And you're not washing dishes in the back. We understand.
But it's interesting. It's interesting to see what's going on. All of a sudden, Target announces they're closing, 9 or 10 stores across the country.
Yeah. In woke cities where
there's looting and everything else.
Burglaries out of control.
But, Target doesn't open a store where they know it's going to fail. They put so much research into it. They know what works and what doesn't. And for Target to have done what they did with the swimwear and everything else, and for Bud Light to have done this.
For 1% of the population.
But the other thing is when that 1% turns against you, which they did, now you can't win no matter which way you go.
Right.
So good luck to you.
All right, Jim Erie, we're going to have to leave it there, and I'm hungry now. So if you want the best burger in town and the tacos, I love your tacos, go to Brant's and Palatine and listen to his Futures Edge podcast. And he joined us on our Turnkey Pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank, a bank where relationships still matter. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hey all, Jim Carr here. I am the owner of Carr Machine and Tool in Elk Grove Village and loyal customer of Signature Bank. As a second-generation owner, I knew I had to shift from operating as an old-school machine shop to what I can proudly say is now one of the fastest-growing aerospace manufacturing facilities in the region. Signature Bank was there every step of the way through our expansion efforts, including financing our new state-of-the-art facility. Their valuable industry expertise and constant communication throughout the construction process made our vision possible. Many thanks to Signature Bank for supporting Carr Machine and Tool. You set the bar high for other banks.
Signature Bank helps local businesses succeed. Want to learn how Signature Bank can help turn your business vision into reality? Visit signaturebank.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I retired 3 years ago, and I've been hearing your ads on the radio for years. And finally, when I moved, I went through this flurry of activity, and all of a sudden, after a couple months after the painting was done and the unpacking and the putting away and everything, because I moved to a different state, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get some of that and try it. I'm telling you, it was like I was a whole new person. I could have given a 3-year-old a run for his money.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Brett Baer will join us for the border crisis, bring down Biden's 2024 campaign, and we'll get the latest. Scalise or Jordan? We'll see what he knows from the inside. But now let's head into that newsroom. Here is Mike Scott. Good morning, Mike.
Amy, Bears legend Dick Butkus is dead at the age of 80. The feds are meeting with Chicago City Council members on the migrant crisis. Fitzgerald suing Northwestern for wrongful termination and a man killed in an Aurora shooting. Illinois hosts Nebraska tonight. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
A big endorsement for House Speaker. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump posted on social media, Jim Jordan will be a great speaker. He wants the House Judiciary Committee chairman to replace the ousted Kevin McCarthy. Jordan tells Fox he thinks he can unite House Republicans and
to do the work that needs to be done on the border, on crime, on inflation, on all these issues we have to address.
Steve Scalise, the House Majority Leader, is also running for Speaker, and Congressman Lance Gooden backs Scalise and just told Fox he talked to the former president last night.
He had wonderful things to say about Steve Scalise. I know Steve is a supporter of the president as well.
A woman in Iran, imprisoned for advocating women's rights, Nargis Mohammadi, has won the Nobel Peace Prize for standing up to oppression. And Nobel Committee Chair Barrett Reese Anderson says Mohammadi has been arrested 13 times, convicted 5 times, and sentenced
to a total of 31 years in prison and 154 lashes.
The Biden administration is doing more to deal with a record surge of illegal immigration. Fox's Tanya J. Powers reports they'll deport some Venezuelans.
The agreement between the U.S. and Venezuela means repatriation flights are expected to begin soon and is a result of this week's talks between the U.S., Mexico, Colombia, and Panama. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas announced the agreement on Thursday, speaking in Mexico, saying those who arrived after July 31st will be sent back to Venezuela in the, quote, coming days.
Now, the administration had recently given temporary protected status to Venezuelans who came here before July 31st, shielding them from deportation. Now, when it comes to restarting border wall construction in Texas, Mayorkas says they didn't want to, but Congress appropriated money for it in 2019.
And we are compelled to follow the law.
Even some Democrats question that, saying Congress did not require 26 waivers of federal law that the Biden administration is ordering to build new wall in Texas. America's listening to Fox News.
53 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. DJ Moore, a career night in the Bears win over a team from Washington on Thursday Night Football, 40-20. Head coach Matt Eberflus says it was a good start that paved the way for the win.
Thought we played some really good complementary football. Getting a couple of 3-and-outs there to start on defense. I thought the defense played well.
Bears legend and NFL Hall of Famer Dick Butkus is dead at the age of 80. The team releasing a statement from the Butkus family saying he died peacefully in his sleep overnight at his Malibu, California home. The linebacker spent his entire career with the Bears after being drafted by the team in 1965, making 8 Pro Bowls.
Get the Bears, and I've heard it myself from different people, is that they better get ready, and that's all the respect that I need. If I was an animal, jerk, acid, or whatever, I didn't care.
He was named to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1979, but it was in the entertainment world that the CVS and University of Illinois grad made his second mark on the world, appearing in films like The Longest Yard and Any Given Sunday. He was also a regular character on shows like MacGyver, Hang Time, and was a featured actor in the My Two Dads sitcom. Butkus grew up in the Roseland neighborhood on the south side, but once his knee was destroyed, he left Chicago for Malibu. While he loved the city he once owned, he never came back and never missed, he says, the cold, dark Midwest winters. Former Northwestern football coach Pat Fitzgerald suing the university for $130 million for wrongful termination.
You put young men in a locker room. Do they sometimes engage in behavior that someone could say on a given day they were being difficult with each other? Players sometimes do that.
That's attorney Dan Webb. A 14-year-old is in critical condition after being shot. Detectives believe shooting himself in the head on the south side near 83rd and Wood. Police are investigating a homicide in Aurora. It happened yesterday in the 100 block of North Calhoun. The Blackhawks unable to get it done in regular time, losing in a shootout in the preseason to Minnesota 3-2. They have the Blues tomorrow night. Major League Baseball postseason continues this weekend with the divisional series. Orioles kick off the action Saturday, hosting the Rangers. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Freedom Summit Chicago tickets are now on sale. Join AM 560, The Answer, on November 11th at the Westin Chicago Northwest for Freedom Summit, featuring Rand Paul, Judge Janine Pirro from Fox News, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thompson, and many more. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Automated Systems Incorporated, healthinsurancementors.com, and by Illinois Concealed Carry Training.
Life is complicated enough without having to worry about your financial concerns when you retire. In a perfect world, your retirement funds would just be there when you reach retirement age.
But it's not a perfect world, and you really need to look ahead and be proactive to manage the dollars you've earned.
The team at Wealth Management Group can help. Uncomplicate your financial future and talk to the team at Wealth Management Group today.
Call 833-WMG-PLAN. That's 833-WMG-PLAN. Or investwithWMG.com.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
All right, this just in, Pure Talk just added more 5G data to every plan and is now including a mobile hotspot with no price increase at all whatsoever. Just $20 a month for unlimited talk, unlimited text, and now 50% more 5G data, plus you get mobile hotspot. Start saving today. Go to puretalk.com, enter the promo code Sean, S-E-A-N, to make the switch to Pure Talk, and you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. That's puretalk.com, promo code Sean.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with the IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Cable news. Noisy, out of touch, on repeat. Tired of all the lookalikes? So are we. Salem News Channel is here to change the game. Streaming 24/7, free on your TV, with the greatest collection of conservative voices. Home to Dinesh D'Souza, Andrew Wilkow, Brandon Tatum, and more. Like you, we say what's wrong and what's right. Unfiltered and unapologetic. Salem News Channel. We're the answer to the mainstream media. Learn more at snc.tv.
Hi, this is Carl Amari.
I'm Lisa Wolf. Join us every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. for all things entertainment on Hollywood 360.
If you love classic radio shows, The Shadow, Jack Benny, The Lone Ranger, Dragnet, Gunsmoke, and many more, We have them for you on Hollywood 360.
We'll also present trivia contests with prizes, showbiz news, celebrity interviews, games, and movie reviews.
So don't miss Hollywood 360 every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
7:08. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time is a service of the Pride Stores. 17 locations throughout Chicagoland. Stop by their newest mobile gas station, the Pride of Villa Park. They celebrate their grand reopening. Daily prizes, a solo stove raffle. Pride Stores, not your typical convenience store. Inbound on the Edens, right now 35 Lake Cook Road to the junction. Kennedy inbound, 60 minutes, O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Ike in, 47 390 to the old post office. Stevenson, 49 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Bishop Ford jammed into the Ryan Merge. I-80 accident, left lane block. It's on the eastbound side between Larkin and Richards. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Andy Robb.
Sunshine and clouds for today with a passing shower in the afternoon, high 60. An evening shower in spots, otherwise cloudy for tonight, low 44. Breezy and cool with clouds and sunshine for Saturday, high tomorrow, 57. I'm Andy Robb on AM 560, The Answer.
52 at O'Hare, 44 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 7:30. Breaking news as it happens. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought
from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good Friday morning. Amy Jacobson here. Ramblin' Ray Stevens in for Dan Proft as he is fishing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Oh, that's so good. I mean, I'd rather be out there riding, my CR 450 or something, snowmobiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
fishing's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You're always here when there's breaking news and a lot of news to cover, and we've just learned that President Trump will be endorsing Jim Jordan as Speaker. What did he put on Truth Social?
Yeah, here on Truth Social, he says Jordan has his complete and total endorsement. He will be a great Speaker of the House. He is strong on crime borders, our military, vets, and Second Amendment.
When you're raising your voice, is that because it's
all
in caps?
In caps? Yeah.
Oh, it's all in caps?
Yeah. It's fantastic. Right. Fantastic. He's good. Fantastic.
Congressman Jim Jordan responds.
I appreciate the president's endorsement. He's the leader of the party. He's going to be our presidential nominee, and I think he's going to be our next president, so I appreciate that.
So does that mean Jim Jordan will be the next Speaker of the House? Well, let's start there with Brett Baer, host of Fox News Special Report and the #1 best-selling author of the soon-to-be released To Rescue the Constitution, George Washington, and the Fragile American Experiment. Good morning, Mr. Baer. How are you?
Good morning. I like that you're putting me at #1 even before the book has come out. That's really good.
You know what? Let's do it. I'm a marketing genius.
You got to think about it. You're an optimist. I like it.
Exactly. All right. So, Jim Jordan, is this a done deal now with the backing of President Trump?
It's not a done deal, but it does help him a great deal, especially with the Republican caucus. And, he is the now odds-on favorite to do it. But remember, it takes 218 votes to become Speaker, and, Democrats vote too. And, there's all kinds of permutations that can happen here. And remember also that there's a part of the caucus, the Republican caucus, and a lot of the Democrats who want to see Ukraine funding continue. Jim Jordan, of the three declared candidates, is probably the one that is less likely to put that on the floor. So that may actually factor in. I should point out Monday, we're going to do special report up on Capitol Hill, inside the halls of Capitol Hill, and we'll have a debate between the candidates for Speaker, Jim Jordan, Steve Scalise, Kevin Hearn, all on special report, 5 p.m. your time.
Wow, and they've all agreed to do this. That's going to be great. 5 o'clock on Monday, our time. We'll definitely tune in. And Kevin McCarthy, on his way out, he He said something about Matt Gaetz that this is personal. I just want you to listen.
You all know Matt Gaetz. You know it was personal. It had nothing to do about spending. It had nothing to do about everything he accused somebody of he was doing. It all was about getting attention from you. I mean, we're getting email fundraisers from him as he's doing it. Join in quickly. That's not governing. That's not becoming of a member of Congress. And regardless of what you think, I've seen the text. It was all about his ethics. But that's all right.
So what is the genesis of the bad blood?
Well, it's a number of different fronts, but clearly they had a personal animus. There is an ethics investigation of Matt Gaetz on a number of different things, and I think Gaetz thought that McCarthy should stop that, and that's part of the problem. But there's more to it, and I think Gaetz portrays this as purely about spending and cutting spending. I think it's a little bit like three-dimensional chess. There are other boards at play here that got to that point. But it's also important to point out that, just going back to Democrats, they all stayed together. So it was 8 Republicans and 208 Democrats. And there's a part of the Democratic Party called the problem solvers that work with Republicans. And we're getting word that they were essentially lied to by Democratic leadership in the end on that vote. They expected McCarthy to survive, and he didn't. So now they are where they are.
Let me ask you this, Brett, because you brought up the ethics, and that's a strong thing there, because there's some sexual misconduct in there alleged against Matt Gaetz, and I know that was out there. And as you said, he did want Jordan to wanted McCarthy to make that go away. But how much of this plays into the fact that, let me repose this to you, is all of these Democrats, they just put together a deal on Saturday. They all were with him. They were good, but not one would save him. And some say that's because he was on Meet the Press, or he was on some show last weekend where he didn't give just props to the Democrats, and that really honked off the Democrats, and that's why they let him drown. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, well, there is that feeling. Some of the Democrats talked about that, and it was on Face the Nation, and he was a little bit aggressive, I guess, in talking about Democrats and their goals and fighting them. Listen, there's a lot of things that go on, but the bottom line in Congress is it all comes down to math. And if you have the votes, you win. And if you don't, you're in trouble. And he was always on the edge. I mean, he's tiptoeing through the tulips here with 4 votes to spare. And so, this could always happen, because one person could step up and say, you know what, I don't like his leadership.
Right. But don't you think Congress needs to change that rule with, one member can call on a vote to kick the speaker out?
100%. It will change, because whoever becomes speaker, whether it's Jordan, Scalise, Hearn, whomever, will mandate that changes as part of the deal to be the speaker. I mean, it's untenable.
Right. But McCarthy had to put that rule in place in order to get the speakership, right? Because after the 14th, 15th vote, somebody had to concede.
Yeah, so that was the deal he made, and it was one deal too many.
Do you think anybody can effectively be a speaker? I mean, they're going to have the same problems that face McCarthy. I mean, it's clear to me that there's going to be a faction that don't want to go along and to get along, and we should right now, because this is a brilliant time in our history where the borders are open. People are talking about it. They're starting to build a border wall again. We should be focused on all of the things that we were lied to about, and here we are, again, talking about Donald Trump in court and the GOP that just fired their speaker.
I agree with you. It's tough if you don't have that spread, and Republicans have to figure out a way to get more seats if they want more control. I think they did get a lot done considering how narrow the spread was, but it's going to have to change as far as how it's run in the next speakership.
All right. As you know, there's pretty much an invasion at our border going on right now, and I mean, here in Chicago, they're taking our Park District spaces, where we have basketball leagues and volleyball leagues and football leagues, and handing it over to the migrants. In Massachusetts, the Army-Navy game is coming up, and people who have served this country, their hotel rooms, the reservations they made have been canceled because Massachusetts is a right to shelter state, and they're giving the rooms to migrants. What's your
That is
reaction
true.
to that?
Yeah, we checked it out. I mean, it is true. And these hotels are being used to house migrants in that area, and some people trying to go to the game are not getting hotel space. So that's kind of wild, but it's indicative of the problem. And you're having more and more Democratic leaders in these blue states and cities that have a real problem, which is part of the reason a lot of cynics say that the president is doing what he's doing with the border wall, even though he says it's not going to work, and they say they have to do it because Congress set it aside.
So is the wall going to be built in Starr County, Texas?
I think so. There's 20 miles scheduled to be built, and as per the thing that was put on the registrar, it was an immediate need because of the immigrants coming across. Now, when Mayorkas talks about it publicly, it's not that. It's that they're backed into a corner because Congress passed a law. So I think they're trying to have it both ways, and I think they're having it neither way.
Oh, the soap opera that is Washington, D.C. All right, but do you think that this border crisis can bring down Biden's 2024 campaign?
I think it is much more a topic for this coming election than it ever has been. We thought it was going to be big in 22, but I think it's much, much more prevalent. And getting to places like Chicago where Democratic activists are speaking out saying, this is not tenable. And I think that's going to be a big deal. By the way, before I leave you, I have an event in Chicago.
Yes, we're just going to get to that.
Oh, good. Go ahead.
No, tell us about it. So it's Saturday, October 14th at Northwestern University. And give us all the details.
It's the 14th, 5:30 p.m., your time, and Chicago Humanities Festival. You can get tickets by going to chicagohumanities.org/events, chicagohumanities.org/events. So I'm going to talk about the book. We'll do a little Q&A, and I will sign as many books as we sell there. And happy to come to Chicago, my wife's hometown.
Good luck. Good luck with those with that campus. That is.
I
that's
hope
a
they
tough
don't
crowd.
have a protest.
Yeah, that is a tough crowd.
No.
But good luck. It'll be fun.
No,
fair,
he'll be fine.
It's fair and balanced, guys. Fair
I
and
know.
balanced.
You always have been fair and balanced. Brett Baer, host of Fox News Special Report. Can't wait to tune in on Monday at 5 o'clock our time to watch this debate between Jordan, Scalise, and who's the third person?
Kevin Hearn from Oklahoma.
Ah, okay. All right. Are you doing your homework this weekend to get ready for it?
I am. And launching a book on Tuesday. So it's all come together.
All right. It's good to be busy.
Love it, yeah.
And the book, again, is To Rescue the Constitution, George Washington and the Fragile American Experiment. Brett Baer, always a pleasure. Have a great weekend.
See you guys.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
You have the right to know and the freedom to choose what's best for you and your family's well-being. This has been the Trinity Health Freedom Expo motto since it began in 2005. Throughout the years, the Health Freedom Expo provided a platform for reputable and uncensored access to current information and the top products from the natural health industry. The 32nd Health Freedom Expo is on October 14th and 15th at the Tinley Park Convention Center. The expo speakers and exhibitors come from all walks of life and a variety of backgrounds, including healthcare, law, and research and development. The 2023 Trinity Health Freedom Expo will feature nearly 36 expert speakers, including Dr. Bradley Nelson, Dr. Ellen Tart Jensen, Dr. Brian Hooker, and for the private symposium, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, board-certified osteopathic medical doctor, founder of Tenpenny Integrative Medical Center, and vaccine researcher. View the full lineup and register at trinityhealthfreedomexpo.com or call 888-658-3976. Attend the expo on October 14th and 15th because you have the right to a naturally vibrant life.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
All right. Oh, my. Wow, that's loud. We're trying to figure out the headphone problem. All right. Is that better? Okay. All right. Balance of Nature. You know I love it. I use it. Ray, have you tried Balance of Nature yet?
You know what? I'm working here today for Balance of Nature, and I'm getting tickets to the Freedom Summit. That's what I'm getting paid in.
All right. You know what? I'm giving you Balance of Nature. So
Right
you have,
on.
do you have a sinus infection or do you have allergies?
You know what? I was doing
What's
some
going
picking.
on? Tell Dr. Jacobs.
I was doing some picking last weekend up in northern Wisconsin, and I was in a house that was loaded with mold, and the minute I walked out of there, it was like, bam. But I got some great deals on some vintage boats, motorcycles, and snowmobiles.
I'm just. What is picking?
Going out and buying people's estates.
Oh.
Yeah.
So do you flip houses?
No, I flip cars, boats, snowmobiles, motorcycles. I'm a collector.
Okay. Do you want to use minivan soon with
Your minivan?
Yeah, you.
No, I don't want to be seen in that thing. No way. Sorry.
You were in my minivan this morning.
Well, let's
and
not
you
talk
didn't
about
seem
that.
To mind.
Yeah, let's just keep that to ourselves.
All right, Balance of Nature. It's 31 whole fruits and vegetables. Because here, what did you have for dinner last night?
Last night I had chicken, asparagus, some sautéed potatoes, and a salad.
Oh my God! What did you have for lunch? Or did you not eat lunch? Are you one of those?
Tuna fish sandwich yesterday.
Okay, breakfast.
You got to understand, my girl runs on a different level. So.
Oh, that's right. She doesn't eat processed foods.
No,
right?
she's a selectarian. She eats free-range chicken that died in its sleep.
A selectarian?
Yeah.
What is?
She only eats chicken. She's not a vegetarian, but she'll only eat chicken. She won't eat steak. She won't eat fish. So when the world ends, and I've got all my deer meat, my ducks, and my fish.
Yeah.
You know, I live the extra month in all this radiation hell, but she doesn't because she won't eat that stuff.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're getting enough fruits and vegetables on your own, but not the daily recommended allowance. Because I didn't hear you say any fruits in there.
I use the fruits and vegetables. I did that. I met the doctor. You know, he told me all about his place out in Utah. I like the guy.
Oh, Dr. Howard.
Yeah.
Yes, he's brilliant. And they're changing the world.
Met his son.
One life at a time.
He adjusted me. He's a chiropractor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bet you he didn't adjust you.
No, didn't. But they believe in their product and they stand behind it, and so do I. I've been taking it for years, and I have more energy. And then if you have more energy that you can exert during the day, you can sleep better at night. And it's real food, real science, real nutrition. What they take are the fruits and vegetables, and they put them through a system where it's powdered after an advanced vacuum cold process, which stabilizes the maximum nutrient content. So get the nutrition your body needs, especially if you're not having enough fruit. Ray, which sounds like you didn't have any fruit yesterday.
I'm fine. I'm a specimen of health. Can't you tell by the way I sound?
Those are allergies. 800-246-8751. 800-246-8751. That is the number to call. Please use discount code Chicago. First timers get 35% off their first preferred order of fruits and veggies and free shipping. And if you want, you can go online to balanceofnature.com, but be sure to use discount code Chicago.
When your home or business has an insurance claim, the next step is very important. The claim process with insurance can be tedious, hard to understand, and difficult to navigate. You need someone working for you. You need a licensed claim adjuster. Why? The insurance company will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them, not you.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company. If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at crosscominc.com. That's crosscominc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
When life ends, your legacy begins. Ensure your legacy lives on at Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago, with 47 locations throughout Cook and Lake counties. Take advantage of 0% financing, lock in today's prices, and safeguard yourself against rising inflation. Visit CatholicCemeteryChicago.org or call 708-236-5490 to schedule a free consultation today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be.
If you're a local business and want to see what Salem Surround can do for you, visit SurroundChicago.com. Remember to visit SurroundChicago.com today.
You know a company is looking out for you when they actually upgrade your service and don't charge you for it. This is great news for new and current Pure Talk customers. Pure Talk just added data to every plan and is including a mobile hotspot with each one with no price increase whatsoever. Just $20 a month for unlimited text, unlimited talk, and now 50% more 5G data plus mobile hotspot. That's just $20 a month. I love Pure Talk. Also happens to be a veteran-owned and only hires the best customer service team right here in the USA. Families are saving almost $1,000 a year on the most dependable 5G network in America. Dial pound 250 and say Dennis Prager to make the switch to Pure Talk, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Again, dial pound 250 and say Dennis Prager and make the switch. The cell phone company I use, Pure Talk, today.
AM 560, The Answer.
I am so excited about our next guest because we get to get the inside scoop of why migrants were dropped off at the Sears Tower in the middle of the night without any notice. He's also trying to shut down the Inn of Chicago, which is in his ward. And he had no idea that NASCAR was coming back. Vroom, vroom. We'll start there with Alderman Brian Hopkins, but now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
52 degrees in Chicago at 7:31. The Biden administration says they'll waive federal law to allow border construction in Texas in a major policy reversal. The Department of Homeland Security announcing the administration is waiving 26 laws to build about 18 miles of new wall. Imprison Iranian human rights activist Narges Mohammadi, the winner of the 2023 Nobel Peace Prize. The UAW will make an announcement later today regarding a possible expansion of their strike against the big three automakers. Former President Trump's lawyers say they plan to file a motion for a stay in his civil fraud case during day 4 of that trial on Thursday. The legal team says they plan to make the filing a little later on today. A man was found shot to death inside of a tow truck in the East Garfield Park neighborhood this morning. Chicago police say they discovered the tow truck driver, 28 years old, inside that vehicle along the 3000 block of West 5th around 1:30 a.m. DJ Moore put together a career night. 230 yards, 3 touchdowns on 8 receptions, helping the Bears over Washington on Thursday Night Football 40-20.
We just needed a win. Get the mojo going in our favor, and it's time to just carry that over into the weeks coming. That's the best thing.
Bears legend and NFL Hall of Famer Dick Butkus has died at the age of 80. The team releasing a statement saying he died peacefully in his sleep at his Malibu, California home. Former Northwestern football coach Pat Fitzgerald is suing the university for $130 million. Fitzgerald's lawyer is Dan Webb.
If there was ever an athletic coach at Northwestern University that should not have been terminated, it's Coach Fitzgerald.
Northwestern officials reportedly told Fitzgerald initially that if he accepted a short suspension, there would be no termination. Police are investigating a homicide in Aurora. A man was found shot in the 100 block of North Calhoun yesterday. There have been no arrests. The 45th running of the Chicago Marathon takes place this weekend. Lots of shutdowns in and around Grant Park, but watch out. The marathon actually travels through 29 Chicago neighborhoods. Blackhawks unable to get it done in regular time, losing in a shootout to the Minnesota Wild 3-2 in the NHL preseason. They wrap it up with the Blues tomorrow night. Bulls take on the Bucks to open the NBA preseason. Number 11 Notre Dame takes on Louisville. Fighting Illini tonight hosts Nebraska at Memorial Stadium. The news, a service of MyPillow, and their six-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. It's proprietary technology that makes them so absorbent, yet you still get that soft feel that you look for. For a limited time, 50% savings with promo code LIBERTY. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Freedom Summit Chicago tickets are now on sale. Join AM 560, The Answer, on November 11th at the Westin Chicago Northwest for Freedom Summit, featuring Rand Paul, Judge Janine Pirro from Fox News, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thompson, and many more. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Best Dental Group of Bartlett, the Illinois Family Institute, and by Alpha Wealth Group.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I retired 3 years ago, and I've been hearing your ads on the radio for years. And finally, when I moved, I went through this flurry of activity, and all of a sudden, after a couple months after the painting was done and the unpacking and the putting away and everything, because I moved to a different state, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get some of that and try it. I'm telling you, it was like I was a whole new person. I could have given a 3-year-old a run for his money.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors in Roselle. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows and doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we've been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows. From modern to traditional styles, Marvin replacement windows and doors can bring your garden right into your living space. Let us help make your world feel brighter and spacious. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you'll get a product expert, a design consultant who is solution-minded, and someone who has your best interest in mind. Our professional services, along with the best products like Marvin, are why we are proud of our 5-star reviews. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows is your trusted window and door experts in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation, or come and experience our state-of-the-art showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave. Don't treat yourself like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
7:37. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. Inbound Edens, 23, Lake Cook Road to the junction. Kennedy inbound, 66 O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. The Ike right now settling in at about 56 into the old post office, while the Stevenson is at 51 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. On the inbound side, you'll find an accident on the left-hand shoulder between Harlem and Pulaski. On the Reagan, an exit ramp closed due to an accident being cleaned up. It's on the Reagan westbound right at Route 56. I-80, an accident with a left lane block. Eastbound 80 between Larkin and Richards. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Windy, a bit cooler with clouds and sunshine today. High near 60. 44 overnight. Breezy and cool tomorrow, high 57. 51 officially at O'Hare. Your next news is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by ServPro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Visit servpro.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. America First with Sebastian Gorka, weekday afternoons at 3 on AM 560. The Answer.
I love this song.
I'm going to talk like your voice guy the rest of the morning. On AM 560. The Answer.
The Answer. All right, welcome back to the program. Amy Jacobson here. Ray Stevens in for Dan Proft while he's having a brocation. He does that a lot. He goes out with dudes and they go on golf trips and on fishing trips. What do you call that, Ray?
You know what you call that? You boys sure do go fishing a lot. I can't quit you, Dan.
All right. So
got a snork there. We got a snork, guys.
We have a bit of a problem. So last week, Pritzker had a press conference downtown, and I parked my car next to the Inn of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, yeah, I've seen, people talking about this where migrants are. There's about 1,500 families and single men that have been there. It's a block away from the Magnificent Mile.
Yeah.
3 meals a day. They have nice items donated to them. And there was some shady stuff going on. Even with a cop car right around the corner, parked in front of that Dunkin' Donuts, I saw people walking to a car, and they're looking around. It just felt, I'm intuitive, and I knew something bad was happening. Neighbors are getting a little sick of it. Here's one who lives next to the Inn of Chicago.
I can go to my 15th floor and hear noises starting from 7, 8, 9 p.m., nonstop for hours.
And the alderman of that ward wants to close the migrant shelter in Streeterville. And we welcome to the program because we have a lot to get to. Alderman Hopkins from the 2nd Ward. Good morning, Alderman. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Amy. Hi, Ray.
Hi.
So how do you go about the issue of closing the Inn of Chicago?
Well, I've let the mayor know that it's my desire, as well as my neighboring alderman, who actually has control of the site from the ward boundaries. It's not in my ward, but it's close enough to my ward. So there's really 2 of us that are directly affected by this, myself and Alderman Riley. And we both simply said, let this contract expire. It expires at the end of the year. Like any contract, it could be renewed, but we're under no obligation to renew it. And it's my view at this point that the shelter it doesn't function. It creates an adverse impact on the neighborhood, as you described from your eyewitness perspective, Amy. And nearly all of the immediate neighbors are saying the same thing. It's just an untenable situation. It doesn't work. It's too many people concentrated into too small of an area. We had a problem with crime in that area before. There was a narcotics hotspot that had been declared on the alley off of St. Clair, where a lot of drug activity was happening even before we started using this facility as a migrant shelter. So it's really just the perfect storm of conditions that are being created here, and we simply have to stop it.
Well, what kind of activity are they doing? And also, too, I heard that about more than 300 911 calls on the property have been made in the past 6 months. Is that true?
Actually, since the beginning of the year, since January 1st of 2023, we've had over 300 911 calls. And those are just calls from people who happen to observe a situation as you did, which was highly likely to be an illegal narcotics transaction that you saw, Amy. And we have a number of neighbors who, have a view of the corner. There's a couple of residential high-rises right there that have views of, the intersection of Ohio and St. Clair. And when they see a drug deal happening in the alley or even in some cases on the street, they call 911 and report it. So that's a data point for us to sort of track what's happening there. And it started out bad, and it's been getting worse. And my concern is on the trajectory that we're on. The shelter is about maxed out in terms of how many people that can fit there. But if we keep this up, it's attracting other sorts of criminal activity. We've had some arrests there, people engaged in criminal activity who are not migrants and they're not residents of the shelter, but they're coming to this area because it's like a shield. They know they can conduct their illegal activities behind the crowd of people on the street, and their chances of getting arrested are unfortunately slim.
Let me ask you this, Alderman Hopkins, second word, our guest here on WIND AM 560. This is an issue with your party. I mean, J.B. Pritzker, the current mayor, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, everybody said, come to Chicago. We're a welcoming city. And then all of a sudden, buses started to come. How do you corroborate that with your party that is pretty much playing right into this? I mean, it starts at the top, and now it's here in Chicago. I get you want to fix it, but how is it tenable within your own party to say, okay, you can't come anymore, inn's full?
It's not tenable, and I'm not going to defend it. It's indefensible. The evidence is before us. Neither party has a monopoly on bad decisions, right? This was a bad decision by Democratic leadership in my party. I acknowledge that.
Okay.
When we started talking about, a sanctuary city and what a welcoming city means, I know for a fact, because I was involved in those debates, nobody predicted this. Nobody thought this was going to happen. I'm not sure it would have changed the outcome of the votes. I know I would have voted no on a welcoming city ordinance if I knew it would lead to this. This is unprecedented in our history. Nothing like this has ever happened. We had Ellis Island operating for 60 years, and it was about as smooth of a process as immigration could be. 15 million people came to America during that period of time. We didn't have computers. We didn't have technology. All we had is human beings with, pieces of paper and pens. And that system of immigration ran about 100 times better than this one. So there's no excuses here, and I'm not going to offer any.
Yeah, but so what are we going to do about it? Can you start?
Well,
can we get rid of the labor welcoming city? And then can we start with?
We have to control our borders. That's not something the city of Chicago is ever equipped to do. And using my Ellis Island example, the city and municipal government of New York and New Jersey had absolutely zero to do with immigration policy and migrant management during those years that it was in operation. The same thing applies now. The federal government has the sole responsibility for border management and immigration management, and they shirk their responsibility.
With all due respect, they wouldn't be shipped here if we were not a welcoming city. And that's the problem. We've got to get rid of that title. How do we go about doing that? I mean, if you want change, Alderman Beal wants change, Alderman Lopez wants change, Alderman Riley wants change, then change it.
So here's the short-term answer, and I think it's within reach. At least, there's a discussion happening right now among my aldermanic colleagues. There's a recognition that the first step, which is, immediate, we could declare a capacity limitation to our sanctuary city status. We could say, we're a welcoming city, we're a sanctuary city, up until we get to 20,000, to just throw a number out there for the starting point. Beyond that, we simply can't take any more buses. We can't take any more asylum seekers of any status. We have to say that, for one thing, it's true. We right now we have a capacity, an identified inventory of about 10,000 shelter beds. And that's before any tents are built, but that's what we know we have right now. We have well over 15,000 that we've counted that are here. So by definition, we're over the capacity that we can safely handle, and yet we're not acknowledging that. That's wrong. I mean, there is a limitation on what even the most compassionate social service agency can handle, and we're at or beyond our capacity across the board. And this whole thing that's happening. So we need to start talking about that. We're putting a lot of pressure on this administration to acknowledge that and to try and establish it as a course of law that would give us the legal authority to turn the buses away or direct them somewhere else, and who knows where else that's going to be.
All right. Well, so
right
Alderman,
now, nobody's stepping up to say, we want more buses to come to our location.
Well, Alderman Beal, I mean, I have to play this again because he's, obviously his ward is near area too, and they dropped off a busload of people, unbeknownst to him. And they dropped off mostly women and children, and that's where sex offenders have to check in once a week.
You have sex offenders coming in and out of this facility to check in, and you still have.
Appreciated the opportunity to interview him. because we do have reports that the migrants walked into the lobby of Sears Tower and said, "We were told this is our destination." Like they thought they were in the right place because the bus driver had told them that. So whether the bus driver took it upon himself to just, maybe he was trolling us, I think I'll drop him off at Sears Tower, and wouldn't that be funny? Or someone actually told the bus driver incorrectly that Sears Tower was, a welcoming building and we could accommodate migrants in the lobby. We do know that a significant number of the buses that leave from places like El Paso or Las Cruces, they're not given specific addresses. The bus driver is told, okay, take these people to Chicago. Okay, so he jumps on the interstate system, drives to Chicago, gets here and realizes, they didn't tell me where in Chicago I'm supposed to take him. Chicago's a big city. Most of these drivers, they're professional bus drivers, so at some point in their career, they probably worked for Greyhound or Trailways or somebody like that. They all know where the Harrison Street bus terminal is, which is why they go there. They're familiar with it, and that's where they go typically to discharge passengers, absent any other specific directions. When that is full and all the bus bays are taken up, they start parking on the street. And when that doesn't look like an option, they literally just go anywhere and just say, okay, guys, your bus ride's over, get off the bus.
Well, we've had 14 buses in the past.
Seeing that happen, and that's how we found out about the Sears Tower situation. Building management called us. They called 911 and said, what's going on here? We got a bus of people that said they're supposed to be here, and they're not. Help us.
Well, how long did they stay? Did they set up cots there? I'm sorry for interrupting, but did they set up cots, or how long did they stay there in the foyer of the Sears Tower?
Yeah, I think it was just a matter of hours. The city assembled a pretty quick emergency response team and got over there and got them to other shelters. I'm not even sure where they took them, but I know Sears Tower as a private entity had every right to say, we're just sorry, we're simply not going to let you camp in the lobby, so you have to leave. So the city responded pretty quickly and got them to other locations.
Hey, you come here, you get to go up that sky deck. It's fantastic. You get in, you get out. Let me ask you this, Alderman, here. Here we are. We're talking about all this, the minorities are here, no matter what you want to call them, migrants, asylum seekers, whatever. But it's taken the ball off the other situation we have here in Chicago, which is unbelievable crime, businesses leaving, restaurants closing. My goodness, we lost the Signature Room in the Hancock. I know that's in your
And
ward.
the Casimir Rug place on LaSalle Street. It
Caspian
closed
Rug.
after 56 years, 52 years in business.
It's still, by and large, a good city. I get it. But, man, you've got to be worried about where we're heading here.
I am very worried about where we're heading. In fact, I just had a meeting with my Business Advisory Council, and the chief attorney for the Signature Room happens to be on that council. And we got into a pretty in-detailed discussion about the effects that the perception of crime and the reality of crime, had on their business. It definitely had an impact. It was absolutely a factor in their ultimate decision to close. Their sales were down significantly. They never recovered from the pandemic. When they reopened, they started to regain business, but never got to pre-pandemic levels, didn't even really get close. And they just couldn't do it anymore. So, and a couple of their staff had been mugged recently on the way to work. There's no denying it. It's the reality is right there before us. And every time I see someone tell me that it's not so bad because murder is down, you know what? It's not murder that is happening every day in my neighborhood. It's armed robbery. It's armed robbery sprees that are happening. And so if you tell me the murder rate is down, okay, that's good news. But that isn't an answer to the problem of increased armed robberies in a specific area of geography that's just being devastated by it. People are choosing to leave Chicago and businesses are closing because of the fear of crime. And that is a problem that needs to be solved, or the city just it can't sustain itself. When the people who you want to live here choose not to live here, that's just a downward trajectory for a city, and we seem to be on it right now.
Alderman, two more questions for you. Mayor Johnson asked your alderman to find a space for one, possibly 2 tents. Have you located any space at all in your ward?
No, I did. I'm a team player, so I took his request seriously, and I made some calls around my ward. first of all, these things take up a minimum of 2 acres, and even that's kind of tight. So I represent a downtown ward that's highly concentrated. We don't have a lot of open space. I looked at the open space we did. I'm not going to mention the one that I got the farthest with because it's privately owned. But it possibly could have accommodated the smallest tent. And they ultimately said no. As private owners of the land, they considered it, and they said, no, we're not going to let that happen.
That was near Northwestern.
I don't want to.
Right, Northwestern.
I don't want to embarrass them by, naming them, because then they'll be, flamed on social media. But they considered the request, turned it down. I passed that on to the mayor's office. The tents also can be put on soft surfaces, but it's harder to do that, and it's actually more expensive, and there's all kinds of other things you have to do to secure them and make them safe if they're not on a paved surface. So a concrete or asphalt surface is really ideal. And I simply don't have it. I don't have any place in my ward that meets the criteria, and it isn't because I didn't look. I did, and all my colleagues are, to my knowledge, are doing the same thing. Everybody's trying to find locations for these things because winter's coming. And
well, what about Northerly Island?
Dying of hypothermia this year if we don't get shelter for people.
What about Northerly Island? I heard that was a possibility.
Yeah, that's a big enough place, obviously. So I'm not sure if that's under consideration, but I know the Park District is very engaged in this conversation because we're seeing a lot more illegal encampments popping up on Park District land right now. So it's happening in the Park District, whether they want it to or not. So they're engaged in the conversation of trying to get a handle on it, seeing if there's some areas where they can make official designations for encampments and then try to get them out of the areas where they're not supposed to be.
I remember we set up this hospital, too, in a place called McCormick Place, but I don't want to go there.
I asked Governor Pritzker about that, and he said he doesn't want to affect the commerce that's coming in.
So, hey, I am a fan of what NASCAR put together in the city last year. I know that some people,
Oh, I hated it.
No, why? Why did you hate it?
Because it was a nuisance to try and get around the town.
There's a nuisance for the run that's in town this weekend, but nobody's complaining about it.
I complain about those, too.
Right, but
Wrigley Field 5K run,
But Alderman Hopkins, did this event make the downtown money? It was one of the most watched races for NASCAR, and I think given the fact that we had all that rain and they pulled the race off, I thought that they did a nice job. What do you think about it coming back for one more year? And then I hear it's over.
Actually, potentially 2 more years. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, the race itself was remarkable. I'm not a big NASCAR fan personally, but I watched that race, and it was great entertainment. Even someone who isn't a sophisticated racing fan like me, I could really see the skill of the drivers involved in that. Navigating these tight turns, on this non-professional surface in the middle of a rainstorm with the pavement wet and spin-outs all over the place. I mean, they needed their A-plus game. Every driver who completed that race, accomplished something. So yeah, there's a lot of drama there. It was entertainment. I enjoyed watching it, and it did reflect very well on the city of Chicago. We got an international audience, and every time we do that, that always helps boost tourism. So there was some definite value there. However, and I'll say this, and I've been saying this since it happened, the NASCAR team who came to Chicago and under the cover of darkness in total secrecy, and that's, thank you, Lori Lightfoot, negotiated this deal with the city of Chicago. The NASCAR team went out when they signed the contract that night, and they had the biggest steak dinner and the champagne toast. They took us to the cleaners. This deal is so favorable to NASCAR. They make all the money, and we, as a city, get all the aggravation and the cost, by the way, the overtime for the police, the streets and sand department having to clean everything up. We're incurring the cost, and I'm not even sure we broke even last year. We got a boost in hotel stays and restaurant stays, but it wasn't nearly enough to justify a month of inconvenience and loss of the downtown park area, loss of Taste of Chicago, having to kick that out of its longtime home.
Yeah, I'm so over the Taste of Chicago.
We really incurred a lot of inconvenience so NASCAR could make a huge profit, which they really didn't share with us.
Well, somebody shook a hand on the deal. You can't blame them for that. It's we're a capitalist society. Thank you, Alderman.
Yes, thank you so much. Glad to have you on, and we'll have you back. Appreciate your time.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Amy. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Alderman Hopkins, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hi, folks. Dennis Prager here. You've probably been hearing my colleagues and me talking about investing with Y-Refi for a while now. You may have some questions, so let's review. It's true. You can earn up to a 10.25% fixed rate of return that is not correlated to the stock market or the Fed. You can turn your income on or off, compound it, whatever you choose, and there are absolutely no fees. There is no attack on principal if you ever need your money back, and you'll get your monthly statement with no surprises. Just go to investYrefi.com. That's invest, the letter Y, then refi, REFY.com. Or call 888-YREFI24. Folks, this is a solid investment that actually helps people. Just go to investYrefi.com or call 888-YREFI24 and tell them Dennis Prager sent you.
America First with Sebastian Gorka. Weekday afternoons at 3 on AM 560. The Answer. News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com on the AM 560 mobile app, or tell your smart speaker to play The Answer Chicago.
A lot of Americans were hired last month. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A lot more than anticipated.
The job market was much stronger than expected in September. There were 336,000 positions created, about twice the number economists were predicting. The unemployment rate remained the same at 3.8%. Revisions to July and August now show 119,000 more jobs created than previously reported.
That's Fox's Jenny Casola. All that hiring could lead to more selling on Wall Street. Stock futures falling big, about 200 points for the Dow. On concern, the report could lead the Federal Reserve to keep raising interest rates. House Republicans keep trying to decide who should be the next speaker to replace the ousted Kevin McCarthy.
The real question the members have is how do we get things back on track?
That's Congressman Steve Scalise, who just told Fox, despite former President Trump endorsing Jim Jordan overnight, his own support is growing.
I've got a long proven record as somebody who knows how to unify Republicans to fight on the battles that matter for the families who gave us this majority.
The House remains in recess until a vote next week. It's day 22 of the auto workers' strike. We'll hear from the head of the union in 5 hours. When Sean Fain spoke last 2 Fridays, he expanded the walkout to more facilities. A woman jailed in Iran for standing up for women's rights has gotten one of the most prestigious honors in the world. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has details.
Imprisoned Iranian human rights activist Nargis Mohammadi is the latest winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. Nobel Committee Chair Berit Reiss-Anderson made the announcement in Oslo, recognizing Mohammadi for standing up for the rights of women in Iran.
The regime has arrested her 13 times, convicted her 5 times.
It's a national day of mourning in Syria after a drone strike hit a military graduation ceremony, killing at least 89 people, more than a third of them women and children. Another Russian bombing in Ukraine has killed a 10-year-old boy and his grandmother. The day after a Russian missile strike on a cafe left more than 50 people dead. America's listening to Fox News.
51 degrees, 8:02 is our time on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A man found shot to death inside of a tow truck in the East Garfield Park neighborhood early this morning around 1:30. Chicago police tell us shots were fired and they responded to the 3000 block of West 5th. They found the 28-year-old victim sitting inside that tow truck. DJ Moore put together a career night, 3 touchdowns as the Bears beat the Commanders 40-20 on Thursday Night Football.
Get the mojo going in our favor, and it's time to just carry that over into the weeks coming. That's the best thing.
Cole Kmet scored for the Bears as well. Cairo Santos, 4 for 4 on field goals. And the Bears host Minnesota next Sunday. Bears legend and NFL Hall of Famer Dick Butkus has died at the age of 80. Team releasing a statement from the Butkus family saying he died peacefully in his sleep overnight at his Malibu, California home. Butkus grew up in the Roseland neighborhood on the south side, but once his knee was destroyed, he left Chicago for Malibu. And while he loved the city that he once owned, he never came back, never missed the cold, dark Midwest winters, he said. Butkus attended his last tailgate at Soldier Field before the opener against the Packers, where he was honored with other Bears alumni. Police are investigating a homicide in Aurora. A man found shot yesterday in the 100 block of North Calhoun. There have been no arrests. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul and Will County State's Attorney Jim Glasgow attempting to enter a consent order with Aqua, Illinois. The suit claims Aqua failed to provide safe drinking water to residents in and around the village of University Park. The news, a service of Protect and Grow with Tim Stearns, Saturdays at noon. Enjoy weekly discussions to a secure retirement. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat, a service of Signature Bank. Visit signaturebank.bank for all your commercial banking needs. Now the latest from the Fox Business Network.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street will be reacting today to the monthly employment report for September. General Motors shares are narrowly higher after sinking to a 3-year low yesterday. GM has made a 6th counteroffer to the United Auto Workers Union as UAW President Shawn Fain is scheduled to provide an update on negotiations today. Royal Philips shares are down more than 8.5%. The Food and Drug Administration says it's not satisfied with the company's recall of devices to treat sleep apnea. The FDA is asking for additional testing. The company says it has agreed to conduct the tests. Gold prices have fallen more than 10% in the past 6 months, largely due to rising interest rates. The Wall Street Journal says analysts believe gold prices will recover next year. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher sees an attack on free speech.
What I'm not too clear on is when the door got cracked open, where today the government is criminalizing speech to such an extent that they want to lock up the 45th president of the United States. It's insane to witness the absolute destruction of speech in this country.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you hear the crowd cheering as the ball hits the hardwood floor? This is the moment. With only 5 seconds left on the clock, you pull up for the game-winning shot. You watch it soar through the air, just for it to fall short because of the exhaustion from playing all night. Don't let this be you. Fuel your body with whole fruits and vegetables to play hard through the night and end the game with a swish. Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Donald Trump warned America. The U.S. dollar is under attack, and it's becoming less and less valuable by the day. Hyperinflation and speculation is killing your retirement. Don't leave your money sitting in cash. It's time you diversified and protected your future with physical precious metals. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 and get your free digital dollar survival kit and learn how you could get up to $1,000 in free silver today. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 to get your free digital dollar survival kit, and you may qualify for $1,000 in free silver. Advantage Gold is the #1 rated gold and silver company in America. Your future is precious. Protect it today when you call Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Check with your financial advisor before investing.
That's 800-900-8000.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
All right, this just in, Pure Talk just added more 5G data to every plan and is now including a mobile hotspot with no price increase at all whatsoever. Just $20 a month for unlimited talk, unlimited text, and now 50% more 5G data, plus you get mobile hotspot. Start saving today. Go to puretalk.com, enter the promo code Sean, S-E-A-N, to make the switch to Pure Talk, and you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. That's puretalk.com, promo code Sean.
It's 8:08. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. Edens, 18 right now. Lake Cook Road into the junction. The Kennedy is an hour and 8 from O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Delays on the Ike, 63 minutes from 390 to the old post office. Heavy from North Avenue all the way to the Tri-State. Stevenson, it's under an hour right now, about 55 minutes from 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Bishop Ford jamming into the Ryan Merge. DuSable Lakeshore Drive right now is 13 minutes as you travel southbound from Hollywood down to Monroe. The Reagan delays westbound right at Route 56 due to an earlier accident. 8094, an accident last night, or an accident early this morning. A left lane blocked between Burr, eastbound, all the way to Grant. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Andy Robb.
Sunshine and clouds for today with a passing shower in the afternoon, high 60. An evening shower in spots, otherwise cloudy for tonight, low 44. Breezy and cool with clouds and sunshine for Saturday, high tomorrow, 57. I'm Andy Robb on AM 560, The Answer.
51 at O'Hare, 47 in Aurora. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ray Stevens in for Dan Proft. Thanks for coming in.
You're very welcome. Cool Friday morning here. We have a Bears victory. Not that I much care anymore, but mourning the loss of one Dick Butkus that made me. I think I might have got weepy over that one.
Oh, I know. And he was such a nice man, and he won an award because obviously he's a University of Illinois grad, an amazing linebacker for the Illini. Won an award back in 2019.
It's a very humbling deal. And, and you wonder, why, man? I did what I thought I was supposed to do. And I had fun knocking the out of people, So if it was that unusual, I guess you take it,
Chicago guy.
Chicago. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment, and you got to have you tell your Dick Butkus story. Because I was intimidated by him. Just real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I'd go to golf outings and he'd be there, and it was scary.
Yeah.
Like Jose Canseco's. Oh, he scared me too. I had to interview him once. Oh, but Dick Butkus. But then you start talking to him. He's a big teddy bear.
Yeah. Nice guy.
I
mean, you wouldn't want to line up against him.
And I love Mike Ditka too.
Coach.
That guy, Coach is my fave.
I was a kid. And I grew up out in the mean streets of West Chicago and Winfield back in the day. And my coach was
such a hood rat.
Yeah, west side of Chicago, Chicago, Turner
Yeah.
Junction. So my coach was a guy named Bill Bishop. And Bill Bishop was an 8-year All-Pro lineman for the Chicago Bears. And then he played his remaining 2 years with the Minnesota Vikings. He was my football coach when I was just a little guy. I think we were the 75-pound team. We were the champions that year of the Bill George Youth Football League.
That's before everybody got participation trophies.
Oh, no, you won. You played to win.
Right, you played to win.
Oh, yeah. It was.
Because you ain't first, you're last, Ricky Bobby.
I'll tell you right now. You know what? We were hazing each other in the 3rd grade.
Really?
I'll tell you. And we were liking it. But so I get a chance.
Were you doing car washes?
Oh, yeah. Whatever the hell that is.
Yeah.
Highballs.
We'll talk about that in a second.
No, so we go down. Mr. Bishop takes the entire 75-pound Winfield Giants with our dads and, some of the coaches down to a Bear game, and it was the Bears against the Patriots. We had unbelievable tickets. I think, Grogan was the name of the quarterback for the Pats. I was just a little guy, and Coach got us in the tunnel after the game so we could see the players walk by. My father, who never got to get that kind of up-close, personal anything to the teams. He's just a hard-working Chicago construction man, so we're having fun. He buys me a little football at the game, gets me a Sharpie, goes, you got to get Dick Butkus' autograph, and here comes Dick, and my dad kind of pushes me out in front of him, and he's like, I'm like, Mr. Butkus, can I have your autograph? And I thought it was going to be like that Mean Joe Green moment, I'm going to get his jersey. We're going to be friends. It's going to be good. This is going to be a big-time moment in my life. My dad's got this front seat at the Chicago. You just can't ask for this for a kid from Brookfield, And he pushes me out in front of Dick Butkus. Dick Butkus takes his left hand, pushes me out of the way. He says, my knees hurt, kid. And I go flying probably 25 feet. I fell into the wall across the way.
Okay, now the fish story is getting bigger. Now you landed 25 feet away and you fell into a wall?
He pushed me. I mean, I'm a kid. I'm a 75-pound peewee football player. What am I, in third grade?
And he pushed you out of the way.
And you know what?
And you never got the autograph.
Never got the autograph, but look at the story. And then as I met him later on in life, and I would have him on the radio from time to time, and he knew it was coming. And he'd always be like, oh, come on, man, don't tell that story again. And I'm like, you know what? If I would have had an autograph, I would have lost that dumb football. It would have meant nothing to me all these years later. Dick Butkus. I was in third grade, and I took a hit from Butkus, and I survived. And more kids should be able to do that.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. But Butkus' death motivated the Bears. They broke their 14-game losing streak last night. What was the final, 40-20 something?
Yeah, 40. I went to bed. I don't care. I really want them to lose. I want them to play for a draft pick. They're not going anywhere.
They always play for draft picks, and it's not helping them.
They're not going anywhere as a team. Eberflus is a horrible coach. Justin Fields locks eyes on receivers. He doesn't look his receivers off. He's a one-trick pony. He can run out of the pocket. He's got a good receiver in DJ Moore. And that's really about it. I feel bad because he seems like a good guy. But
he seems like he has a great heart. But leadership-wise, you could be a great player, but are you a leader?
Now,
the quarterback position, you need a leader.
The job, I'm in steady now. I do talk radio for a station out of Kansas City. Mm-hmm. Please. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, come on.
Those are your guys now? Did you buy a Kelsey jersey?
And I'm upfront with them. They know I'm from Chicago, and they know I'm a Bear fan. But how much? I've suffered a lot with this team, and I think what really did it for me.
You sound like an abused girlfriend.
But I have been abused. You're triggering me. You know what, Amy? I think when Kaepernick came around and they started to kneel, and then after the Summer of Love and the NFL started putting, we need more love and let's be inclusive and all that BS on the back of their helmets. I'm like, I don't tune into you guys for you to virtue signal me, and that pushed me away from the NFL, and I'm not all the way back yet.
And I hated taking of the knee during the national anthem, all that.
What a bunch of crap.
But you know how this all started?
Colin Kaepernick.
No. Letting players wear pink during breast cancer awareness month. I am not kidding you. And John would sit here and say, what are you, you have breasts. You could have breast cancer. I'm like, I understand that, but I didn't want any messages to mess with my football.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
And I said, well, you start doing this, that's going to open the door to changing the uniforms. Mm-hmm. Now people could put comments on their jerseys, put comments on their shoes. It all started because of that breast cancer awareness wearing pink in the NFL.
It all started because of Jim McMahon when he put Roselle on his headband.
Well, well, he got fined for that. But now it's okay to alter your uniform. See, I like uniformity because when you show up to a game and you're all right, but you're all wearing the same uniform, all high and tight, like you look tough, and it's like you can score points before the game begins because there's uniformity. Yeah, maybe that's old school.
Well, it is old school.
I remember 3 years ago, the girls were like, can we wear pink socks? I'm like, no. And then I realized, you know what? If you all wear the same kind of pink socks, yes. But I don't want like an off pink, a few neon pink. Like if you all get the same pair of socks, I will let you do it. And I let them do
you
it.
talk to your kids the way you talk to Pritzker? Because you probably scare the crap out of them.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
All right. No, you got to be careful with them, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to develop character and leadership skills and good citizens, as well as teaching volleyball. But sometimes you have teams where you have to teach them new skills, and other times you have teams where you're managing talent.
Right.
And this year, I feel like I'm managing talent.
Okay.
Because they're so gifted.
Yeah.
And we did win against Taft yesterday.
Nice.
They're in the gold conference above us, so
Okay.
that was a big win.
So you
for
played
us.
up. You played up and you won.
Yeah, we played up and we won.
Nice.
And they played very, very well together. I'm very proud of them.
Can I backpedal for a couple
Sure.
seconds here? I want to apologize to the WIND listeners because this is not my radio show. But you know, I just feel like I had to bring it. I should have brought it harder with Alderman Hopkins because this is the party that's allowing all this stuff to happen. They're the ones that it is a Democrat city. All you know, and we had a brilliant text here that spoke to. They didn't know the problem was going to be this bad. I mean, come on, how did you not? How did you not know this? There is no there. This is a Joe Biden, Democrat Chicago, Brandon Johnson, Lori Lightfoot, every one of you woke aldermen that are Democrats. This is on you.
No,
and now now that the chickens have come home to roost. And it's and I'm calling BS. I'm throwing the BS flag against all these guys because now it's untenable. What did you expect?
Well, you have to make Democrats feel the pain and feel the burden of their own choices, and that is what's happening as they're taking over our public spaces.
Well, you know, you can't let activity equal accomplishment, and virtue signaling has never been more on display than it is in Chicago. We're a welcoming city until you get here. But, hey, we're going to put some tents up for you because let me tell you something. If you've never been to a base camp on the lakefront in Chicago in January, you're going to love it.
What could go wrong?
Yeah,
but here's
great.
the deal. Well, in that location, you're living free. So they have no rent. They get 3 meals a day. They have a laundry room, so they don't have to pay for laundry. If they want, there is a van that could take them to and from a doctor's visit and can take your kids to school.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be coming over in droves, which they are doing?
But, Amy, don't worry about that, you see, because that's federal money. And where does the federal money come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Bill in Waukegan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Amy and Ramblin' Ray. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to say and back up what Ray said, that why weren't you guys a little bit harder on this guy? I mean, it was the Democrats that made the decision to be an open and welcoming city. And now that they're feeling the effects of it, now they're backpedaling and trying to, get out of this situation without really even, defining what getting out means. And so, we get what we get, and the Democrats, and I hope that the people now see that the Democrats aren't really for them. They're just for each other. And they make decisions not based on any kind of thought process. They just make decisions that more or less just curry the black vote or the vote for the Democratic Party. Thanks for taking my call. Have a great weekend. I love you guys.
Again, all they have to do is change the ordinance that says we are not a welcoming city. But then you have people like that. Are you ready for this? This is so Chicago.
We're a welcoming city. We're a sanctuary city. And I think we should stay that, because what is the alternative? Be a not welcoming city? How embarrassing would that be?
Oh, it's so embarrassing. I can't leave my
How
house.
embarrassing would that be? Come on over here. We got room for you.
So ridiculous.
Stupid.
John in Lake Geneva, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, good morning. I just wanted to share something I heard last night about Biden's true motives. I guess the Venezuelans tend to vote Republican since they ran away from the dictatorship. So they're going to be the ones that are going to be deported, and I think there's about 500,000 of them. So it kind of shows the true motives.
They're going to be deporting people. Oh, yeah, right.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Find them first.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Give them cell phones so you can track them. Yeah, right. How did that work? Oh, they gave them cell phones so that they could communicate with them about when their court hearings were, their asylum seeking hearings were. Yeah. Do you think people showed up?
Well, here, I often wondered how politics and the politicos were going to change and the talking heads were going to change when the immigrants, migrants, asylum seekers, whatever you want to call them, showed up in the Randy neighborhoods as opposed to Alderman Lopez's ward. And I often thought, well, when the crime gets to Naperville, then we're gonna Then
Did you see who was arrested with a loaded machine gun at Topgolf in Naperville?
But
bad dude.
But that's what I'm saying. Is we keep, it's like condition and response. You get in the shower and it's hot, you get used to it. We're used to crime. We're used to little POS prosecutors that don't do anything. We have cashless bail now. We're letting all these people up here, and yet we've got people in town scratching their head. Gee, why is there crime? Why are there immigrants in our city? Are you kidding me? Look in the mirror.
I mean, I'm just sick about this. So, not saying names, but one of my neighbors, she got a new used car for her son, and it was stolen right in front of my house. And when I woke, and now, remember, I should have called the cops on these guys. If I would have seen them, I would have. When I woke up this morning and I looked outside, I saw something weird on my sidewalk. It just didn't look right. And I was running out the door, and I parked in the garage, thank God. But I think I'm going to start carrying a weapon. What was on the ground was the window to the car that they busted out.
Oh, okay.
Because my neighbor's like, the window is on your front lawn. The window of her son's car that she just bought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's right in front of your doorstep.
Well, I don't know. Why do you want to live there? I mean, I know that you're a coach. I know. Why be there anymore? Do you have to be there anymore?
I have an exit plan.
Yeah.
But
Good.
the problem is, and this is a very honest answer, my mortgage rate right now is 2.75%.
Call that.
Why would I go into a situation where I'd have to pay 8% mortgage?
We call that the golden handcuffs, and people want to leave, but you're absolutely right.
I'm tied.
Yeah.
Even if I went and rent, what I'm paying on mortgage and property taxes is less than I'd be paying in rent now at this point in time. And if I bought something equivalent, I'd be paying almost twice as much because of mortgage
Can't
rates.
you go stay at the golf shack with Dan? Can't you guys shack up together? Where's that? Down in Florida somewhere?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to live in
Is that where?
pool.
Now, is he up here now, or where is he?
No, he's up here.
Okay.
He spends, less than 6
Who are
months
your
here.
guys' agents? Let me know. I want these deals. Are you kidding me? Hey, I feel like golfing. I want to go fishing.
Well, when you do your show from 10 to 12 for KM, what is it called?
KCMO, Kansas City.
KCMO, Kansas City. Do you have to go into a station, or could you do it remotely?
Oh, no, I'm going into Chicago right now. I'm going into Cumulus.
How's that trek going for you?
Well, nobody at that radio station over there likes me, so that's interesting. Because I'm the only conservative in the whole place. So think about that for a second. But it's not working out well. It's going to be. Mark has asked me if I want to do it from here, which would be a good alternative. But I think what we're going to do
free
is
parking, and you don't have to commute downtown.
I have this lovely little villa up in St. Germain, Wisconsin, between Eagle River and Minocqua on Highway 70, right on a lake.
Oh,
that
sounds like the place. To do
I've
it.
already got my deer this year bow hunting. I've got meat in the fridge. I've got walleye in the fridge. I mean, I could survive up there on basically nothing, and I think we're going to have to do that.
There's only one radio in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
It happens every year. Winter. Delivering and receiving supplies and getting people where they need to go can be impossible. Keeping your business doors and gates working properly to keep out the extreme weather is a major concern. Your business can't afford a loss of income or productivity. Think ahead this winter and call Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. for your commercial door maintenance and security tune-up now. You can't always plan when your doors break down, and it always seems to come at the least convenient time. Industrial Door Company will ensure your doors, grills, gates, and dock equipment are working to specification and give you advice on how to increase the life of your doors. Go online to see a range of products and services at industrialdoor.com. Call anytime, 847-258-5620. Their team will be there before the extreme cold weather causes financial losses for your company and assist in your time of need. Since 1982, the Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. takes care of your doors so you can take care of business.
Do you hear the crowd cheering as the ball hits the hardwood floor? This is the moment. With only 5 seconds left on the clock, you pull up for the game-winning shot. You watch it soar through the air, just for it to fall short because of the exhaustion from playing all night. Don't let this be you. Fuel your body with whole fruits and vegetables to play hard through the night and end the game with a swish. Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
This is an urgent warning. America is heading for another major financial disaster at an alarming rate. We could see stock prices fall as much as 50%, but this time the crash could be more violent and come faster than you ever imagined. We are Advantage Gold, America's most trusted precious metals company, and we are here to sound the alarm that winter is coming for investors. And now is the time to take actions that may help protect and secure your portfolio with physical precious metals. Want to help protect your hard-earned money before it's too late? Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 and request our free gold and silver survival kit today. Mention that you heard us on the radio and learn how you could get up to $1,000 in free silver coins. The number is 800-900-8000. Call now to get your free survival kit and see if you qualify for $1,000 in free silver today.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Check with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
Hun, we need to stop putting off getting life insurance.
I know. It's just been so busy, and I'm sure the cost is out of our budget.
Well, Jen told me that they got a $500,000 term life insurance policy from Ethos for less than $23 a month. All online with no complicated forms and no medical exam. All they had to do was answer a few health questions.
Wait, no medical exam and all online?
I know, right? It's not easy to think about, but if something happened to you, James and I would be...
Okay, I get it. Let's get a quote from Ethos right now. Wow, you were right. There's no medical exam, and Ethos makes the whole online process fast and easy. And look at these rates and coverage options. It's great protection and totally fits our budget.
Ethos. They've removed all the barriers from getting coverage. Go to checkethos.com to get your free online quote. That's checkethos.com. Quote based on a healthy, non-smoking 30-year-old male with a 20-year term policy. Rates may vary.
Dan Proft here for Northridge Prep. Northridge Prep is a great place to be a boy. What does that mean exactly? In short, it's thanks to a foundation of an all-boys environment that builds your son up into a man of intellect and character who loves God. The teachers and faculty members become mentors to students. And when you combine that with an atmosphere that's fun, competitive, and challenging, it creates an exceptional experience for your son. And the result is that the boys just love Northridge. They've been educating boys for nearly 50 years. And one of the things that stands out to me is their commitment to partnering with parents. Now, you hear this a lot with schools, but at Northridge, the parents can't stop talking about it. They built a community that really works together. Raising kids is difficult these days, and at Northridge, you can be confident your son is on the right path. They're having an open house on Sunday, October 22nd, for boys in grades 6 through 12. Register today at northridgeprep.org. Again, that open house is Sunday, October 22nd. Register at northridgeprep.org.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century. With IoT Smart Connected Scanning, it's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right. Oh, are you going to play this song at your wedding, Justin? Oh, can I have a say in your song list? Hello, you can get on the microphone. Yes? No? Maybe so?
That was part of the RSVP. You had to
It
pick
was.
a song and give some advice.
Yeah.
Why don't you pay attention to this, Amy?
What
Why are you so? I mean, you got to support this kid. He's your producer, for God's sake. Why are you like that?
What song should be on Justin Kosick's wedding playlist? We'll start there. Open Mic Friday. Grab a line, 312-642-5600. We'll be taking your calls about any topic you want to talk about, including our mayor, who it's such a burden to be a dad and have a job. Oh, my goodness. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
51 degrees. We're sunny this morning. There's a shot of rain in the forecast for the afternoon. At 8:33, a man was found shot to death inside of a tow truck in East Garfield Park. Chicago police say they were called to the neighborhood in the 300 block of West 5th around 1:30 a.m. DJ Moore put together a career night leading the Bears over Washington 40-20 on Thursday night football. The head coach, Matt Eberflus, happy.
Thought we played some really good complimentary football. Getting a couple of 3-and-outs. Defense, I thought the defense played well.
Bears legend and NFL Hall of Famer Dick Butkus has died at the age of 80 at his Malibu, California home yesterday. The linebacker spent his entire career with the Bears before making the Hall of Fame on his first ballot. Former Northwestern football coach Pat Fitzgerald suing the university for $130 million for wrongful termination. Fitzgerald's lawyer is Dan Webb.
You put young men in a locker room. Do they sometimes engage in behavior that someone could say on a given day they were being difficult with each other? Players sometimes do that.
The 45th running of the Chicago Marathon takes place this weekend. While a lot of the street closures are centered on Grant Park, just remember the marathon travels through 29 Chicago neighborhoods. The Blackhawks couldn't get it done in regular time, losing in a shootout to Minnesota. A preseason loss, 3-2. Hawks wrap the preseason with a road game against the Blues tomorrow night. Bulls open up the preseason with a game against the Bucks on Sunday. Tonight, Big Ten football. Fighting Illini look for their first Big Ten win when they take on Nebraska. The news is a service of PKF Mueller CPA professionals, business and financial advisors. Visit online today, pkfmueller.com, pkfmueller.com. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Charlie Kirk doesn't mince words.
Speaker Kevin McCarthy has announced that it is time to proceed on an impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. Now, the position on this program is very clear. Joe Biden is a traitor to the United States. Joe Biden has sold out the country. Joe Biden has lied repeatedly. Joe Biden is still compromised by the business dealing that he has done previously.
The Charlie Kirk Show. Afternoons at 1, right before Sebastian Gorka at 3 on AM 560. The Answer.
Homeowners experiencing low water pressure, rusty yellow water, little to no hot water, or pressure so low that showering is difficult?
Honey, don't flush. I'm in the shower.
These are all symptoms of clogged and corroded galvanized water pipes that are filled with gunk older than you. You should see it. It's disgusting. You drink it, brush your teeth with it, and bathe in it. Yuck. For your family's sake, repipe your home with quality PEX or copper pipes from All Affordable Plumbing. We're your local family-owned and operated repiping expert. We can repipe your home in 1 to 3 days with minimal disturbance, and we include a lifetime guarantee. And for a limited time, we're offering 12-month no-interest, no-payment financing and a free water heater. So if you have low water pressure, call for a free in-home estimate at 800-NEW-PIPE or visit allaffordable.org. That's 800-NEW-PIPE or visit allaffordable.org. If you have low water pressure, a copper repipe will get you flowing again. Call for a free estimate at 800-NEW-PIPE. That's 800-NEW-PIPE.
Do you hear the crowd cheering as the ball hits the hardwood floor? This is the moment. With only 5 seconds left on the clock, you pull up for the game-winning shot. You watch it soar through the air, just for it to fall short because of the exhaustion from playing all night. Don't let this be you. Fuel your body with whole fruits and vegetables to play hard through the night and end the game with a swish. Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE, Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This hourly segment is brought to you by NJ Diet. Lose 20 to 40 pounds in just 40 days. Call 855-NJ-DIET or NJDiet.com.
8:39. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. Thank you, Team Hochberg. Kennedy inbound. O'Hare to the Burn Circle interchange. In a solid hour right now. Austin to Montrose, your big delays. Earlier accident cleaned up, but still big delays between 17th and Des Plaines Avenue. On the inbound Ike, it's an hour 2 into the old post office. Stevenson 36 from 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan, not too bad, 28 minutes, 95th into the Burns Circle interchange. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, northbound Bryn Mawr to Hollywood, typical delay, and northbound between Soldier Field and Monroe. I-80 stop-and-go traffic due to an accident. It's on the eastbound side, and it involves a motorcycle this morning. Eastbound between Wolf and 80th Avenue. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Windy and cooler, clouds and sun with maybe a passing shower this afternoon. High of 60, breezy with maybe an evening shower. Not the best weather for Friday night lights, and a big weekend of high school football as teams try to clinch playoff contention this weekend. Low of 44, 57 tomorrow. 51 right now. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Open mic! Open mic Friday! Call it now! Open mic Friday!
All right, grab a line, 312-642-5600. That's our Turnkey.pro answer line, don't you know? And we're going to be sponsored next week, the whole half hour, by Turnkey.pro.
Nice.
For Open Mic Friday. Anything you want to get off your chest or talk about, partner?
As we went to the break, we were talking about what would be good wedding songs.
Right, for Justin.
I thought for Justin, maybe their second song, whatever the first one is, I'm sure is lovely, would be I Knew the Bride When She Used to Rock and Roll.
Ah.
Yeah.
How does that go?
Yeah, it's basically I Knew the Bride When She Used to Rock and Roll.
All right.
You know?
Justin, what is going to be your first song, or is this a surprise?
It is a surprise.
Okay.
Is it choreographed?
No. No.
You should use what I did. I used Boys to Men. Throw your clothes on the floor, and I'm going to take my clothes off, too.
You did not. That was
No.
What was your first song?
My first song was,
oh, my God.
Which wedding?
Your first one.
First one was Billy Ocean, Promise Me You're Undying Love.
I'm going to vomit. Can I get a barf bag?
It was a great song.
No,
It's a good song. Yeah.
Mine was
Great song. I was working at back then. I was working at VON.
Oh my. Okay. What about you, Mike Scott?
Didn't have a dance.
Oh God, my God. What? I can't work with you people. Come on.
Here's
you can have a first dance at Justin's wedding then. Wait, stop. Before we get to the couple, we want to honor Mike and his beautiful wife Melissa, and you guys can do a dance.
He took a suggestion for us for a song, and I assume we're going to dance for that.
All right, what is your suggestion that you put in the RSVP?
Ray will know the song. Moon is Still Over Her Shoulder by Michael Johnson.
That is a fantastic song.
Yeah, it's to my wife. She's
Can
the
somebody
best.
sing that for
Nobody knows that
Justin, can you
song.
find
Oh,
that
it's
song?
such a great song.
What's
I
it
love
called
Michael
again?
Johnson.
Moon Over Miami?
No,
Isn't that a-
the moon is
something
still
you
over
order
her shoulder.
for brunch?
I'm walking with my Bella Gina Marie, who's just fantastic. She's beautiful, good Christian, conservative girl. And we're walking under the harvest moon the other night, and I'm telling her, I'm like, the moon is still over her shoulder, and and it's basically, and she still turns his head. She never looks 1 minute older.
Yeah,
it's basically
that's right.
what it is.
Yeah, it's
cool tune.
It's a good tune.
You ladies are so cute. No, I'm just kidding. All right,
Just-
you know what? Justin's going to find it. I'm sure he's working on it right now.
Just make sure we don't do White Wedding by
Oh.
Billy Idol. Just make sure we don't do Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make sure we don't do the Macarena.
Oh, what's wrong with the Macarena?
And let's make sure we don't do, I don't know, anything by Mariah Carey.
The one that really turns the ladies off is "Stan" by Eminem.
Oh.
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah, they don't like that when the chick's locked in the trunk.
Yeah, that's not good. I went to my nephew's wedding. It was lovely, outside of St. Louis, and I think it was in St. Charles was the reception. And
That's a cool place, by the way.
they played Toto out of Africa.
Yeah.
For their take me alive. No, not for their opening song, but they played songs that I was not expecting for that age group.
Mm-hmm.
They played a lot of songs that I knew. There was
they're-
not one song that they played that I didn't know.
The young whippersnappers, they're all going with throwbacks
Yeah.
of the 80s now.
And they
It
like
was
that yacht
great.
rock crap.
They do.
The what stuff?
Like yacht rock.
Oh, yeah.
Michael McDonald, they're rediscovering, and they're like, oh my gosh, he's the greatest.
312-642-5600. Oh, my. Why is he calling in? Sean, is that you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm calling in to explain a couple of things, mainly to you, because I'm sick and tired of you losing money and ignoring it because you pretend you're making money. Now, Ray, who I've never met, and I'm looking forward to meeting, he did something I think is very impressive. He acknowledged the fact that he wanted to call that pirate, that gypsy, that moron, pretending to be a representative of the people out for the fraud that he is. And anybody that says, I'm a team player, when the team is the responsible for the collapse of arguably one of the greatest cities on the planet, you sit in a corner with a dunce cap on, moron. But what you did expose that I really love is that all the lawyers, Lori Lightfoot, I believe she made $100,000 more after she left her law firm when she became mayor so they could wash the bribes through. $500,000 a year, and you got your ass kicked by NASCAR guys? That is brilliant to me. One of my favorite parts.
Shook the hand. You shook the hand on the deal. You took the deal.
And then
you
I didn't know how it would turn out until it was over. You fracking morons. In the meantime, when you're paying 2.7%, but you're losing 10%, honey, you're getting your ass kicked like the alderman against the NASCAR guys. Golden handcuffs are an illusion. Don't look at the dirty paper. Look at the overall value, because all of these people who thought that they could rely on home values, they got their ass kicked over the last 30 years. 30 years. So that's important
All
because
I'll
you want to
suck it
help
up,
the people that
Buttercup,
listen.
As you say, yes.
And now, Justin, you're getting married. Be the man. Be the man.
How can he beat the man? What should he do, Sean?
You go to work and you earn, baby, and you pay. And the song should be "You Made Me Love You." Never admit it.
All right. Thanks, Sean. I miss you and I love you.
Goodbye.
Wait, that's when you say I love you too. Okay, fine. He doesn't love me anymore.
Is that your afternoon guy?
That's Sean Thompson.
Okay.
Sean from Elmwood Park.
Yeah.
Your afternoon guy. Kim in Northwest Indiana, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, I was just calling because I was hoping, I mean, Ray, yeah, you did kind of touch on it, but hoping that you would press that alderman a little bit more to make him actually say that it's Biden's open border policy, which is the root cause of this immigration. And they virtue signal, you know, but when it actually comes to them, they don't want to deal with it. Now they want to stop it, but he needed to admit that it's Biden's open border policy, and is he going to then ask the president to close the border? And also, he kept bringing up Ellis Island as an example. Well, we should talk numbers because the 60 years Ellis Island was open, maybe there was 12 million immigrants that came through, and our borders were not open like this. In 2 years of the Biden administration, what are we at? 7 million that they know of? I mean, it's not even
More than
apples
a half
to apples.
million that they can't find. That ran
Yeah, it's not even apples to apples.
I
But
tell you, if I was
Very
running
good
a
point,
campaign,
Kim.
if
Thank
I'm
you
running
so
a
much,
campaign,
Kim.
I'm showing Trump or showing Biden taking back the deal on the border wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing the people falling off planes as we exit Afghanistan.
Yep.
And I'm showing this immigration crisis
Crush.
that we have,
Yep.
and I'm showing that over and over again. And you don't even have to say anything; just show it, and it'll work.
And people moving out of high crime cities. I would
Well-
show that. Or even some of the crime that's happening. Use Dan's Scream video that he used for the campaign with Darren Bailey.
You know, put up pictures of
Or
the new.
Super PAC.
Put up pictures of Crazy Kaplan's fireworks when they set up shop in the Signature Room on the 95th, because the Gold Coast is going to be nothing but pop-up stores. That's a fact. Ruin a great city, and you've got to remind people of that, because we have a 30-second memory. We have a 30-second memory. The next time something shiny comes along, we forget about it. You know, what are we not talking about today? One, we're not talking about the guy that pulled the fire alarm last weekend. We're not talking about the speaker anymore. Now we're talking about, Biden's.
Well, we touched on that. Jim
Right.
Jordan has been endorsed by President Trump, in case you missed
Right,
it.
but today this is good. This is a good day for the GOP. Get your stuff in order. We get Trump out of the courthouse where he has to do his campaigning. We stop infighting, and you might make some gains here.
I know. We have the best chance ever. Dawn in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning. Happy Friday to all of you. I have a perfect song I just thought of that would correlate to the politics that you're talking about and to Quinn's wedding. It's by Georgia Satellites from the 80s. Don't hand me no lines and keep your hands to yourself. How about that one?
Damn it online and keep your hands to yourself.
And you will learn this,
Thank
Justin.
you, Dawn.
You will learn this, Justin.
You're welcome.
After you get married, she will keep her hands to herself a lot more than she is now.
Oh, yeah. That's,
Happens.
well, okay. Vince in Huntley, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, McCarthy and the Republicans could have shut down the border in January. So if it wasn't for these 8 heroes that stood up against the establishment, and it would still be business as usual. And I thought the coverage that you and Dan did the day of, it was disgusting. I thought you guys did not do that.
And we didn't hammer the hateful eight enough?
No, they're not the hateful eight. They're the they're
I know, they're magnificent.
They're heroes.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, no, they're heroes. They're heroes, Amy. They stood up and they're stuff. What do you have against single subject appropriations? That would stop.
I can see
the
both.
funding
I've got
for the-
dear
for the
friends who
processing on the
love
border.
them. They're heroes. They are heroes. They save the day.
The problem is
Vince, for the phone
the
call.
problem is that I get it. You want to stop spending. Everybody wants
It's
to
all
stop
about
spending.
spending in Ukraine.
Right.
That's the genesis of this.
But here's the thing: is that nothing's going to get done if people act like this. I mean, you can pound your chest and say you love Matt Gaetz. I get it. Good for you. But nothing gets done that way. And the optics are everything right now.
Our 3 conservative congressional members, LaHood, Mary Miller, and Bost, all voted to keep McCarthy. Okay? And they
Right.
said because we have to focus on bigger things right now. We can make tractions because of the immigration crisis, because of the economy. And we didn't do that.
You're going to sit here
It just
again.
showed that Republicans couldn't govern. And Matt Gaetz, as Darren LaHood said, Matt Gaetz is all about Matt Gaetz.
Oh, yeah,
because he's going to run for governor, so this is free publicity for him.
There's a huge ethics investigation on Matt Gaetz, and I'm telling you what,
and
everybody that's
Take
pounding
a
their
time-
chest,
Take time to read it.
everybody that's pounding their chest over what happened last week. Let's see what happens in 2024 and see where this got you, because it ain't going to be good.
All right,
I'm
let's
sorry to tell you.
squeeze in some more quickly. Bob in Buffalo Grove.
Good morning, Amy. Nice to hear you, Ramblin' Ray. Love it when you're paired with Amy. Regarding Butkus, point of clarification. I never met him, but I'm somewhat aware of his early career accomplishments in football. Some of your callers might correct me if I'm wrong, but let me offer the following. I recall Butkus playing for CVS in 1959 and 60 as CVS faced off against my alma mater, Taft High, in the city for this city championship. By the way, Taft won. Then on that team was Jim Grabowski playing for Taft. I can't recall. I was in probably 62 or 63. Butkus met up with Grabowski again as they both played for the championship U of I team. And they both then starred in the 64 Rose Bowl, which U of I won. Then moving on, Butkus gets drafted by the Bears.
We're getting the whole history here. Yeah.
And then Grabowski goes to the rival Packers.
Okay.
And finally, too bad that Butkus never played. There's for a winning Bears team. Bears had
That's all right.
lousy
He liked
quarterback.
being a lifelong career Bears player. But Bob, I got to
Yep.
tell you, Bob, I don't know if you heard the news, but Amundsen beat Taft in JV in 2 and varsity in 3 sets. So you took 2 L's yesterday at Taft High School.
So,
I'm so sorry, Bob.
I'll have to talk with the principal. I'm going to be seeing him next week.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm going.
Tell
over
him what
to,
an amazing program we have over there at Amundsen. All right, thanks, Bob. As always, our favorite engineer. Will and Skokie, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
How you doing? The answer to this, problem of all the people coming across the border, start busing them up to Wilmette, Winnett, and Highland Park, especially Lake Forest. Then you'll see some changes. All right?
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's true. I mean, we're a sanctuary state. Why not? But the Grabba World or whatever,
but
Garda World, we signed a contract with Garda World, and on the contract it says that tents will be set up in Will County, Lake County, McHenry County, Kane County, and Cook County.
You know, there's a nice
so
golf
it's coming,
course.
folks.
There's a nice golf course up there. It's called Shore Acres.
Oh, yeah.
They should put it there because
Yeah,
all
John
these people,
Howell would love
all these
that.
people that pontificate and talk about being inclusive and it's mostly, as he brought up, your North Shore Dems. Put it there.
Yeah.
Put it right downtown.
Put it
Highland
right
Park.
in front of their. You know what?
Yeah.
Put it in their kids' gyms.
Right.
In their Park
see
District
how they
gyms
are
or where
then.
they play, and then you'll see
Oh, I'd love
them
it.
change.
I'd love it.
Chuck and Delavan, you're going to close us out for this morning. Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, how you doing? Social director here. Chuck from Delavan. Studio Winery tomorrow. Hobie and the leftovers. Then go to the Abbey and see the D-Light Duel. And like I said before, with the big wedding, you have to have the chicken dance, the Macarena, the Hokey Pokey, Love Shack, and Dead Skunk in the middle of the road.
Okay.
Otherwise, the marriage don't count. So, you guys have a great weekend and get out there and do something. I think we're going to need our long underwear next week.
Okay. We are going to need that long underwear.
One more, Justin. Who stole the Kishka polka? That's what you need.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Greetings, friends. Sebastian Gorka here. You've probably been hearing my colleagues and I talking about investing with Y-Refi for a while. You may have some questions. So let's review. It's true. You can earn up to 10.25% fixed rate of return. That's not correlated to the stock market or the Fed. You can turn your income on or off, compound it, whatever you choose, and there are absolutely no fees. There is no attack on principal if you ever need your money back, and you'll get your monthly statement with no surprises. Just go to investyrefi.com. That's invest, the letter Y, then REFY.com, or call 888-YREFI24. Friends, this is a solid investment that actually helps people. Just go to investyrefi.com or call 888-YREFI24 and tell them Dr. G sent you.
Do you hear the crowd cheering as the ball hits the hardwood floor? This is the moment. With only 5 seconds left on the clock, you pull up for the game-winning shot. You watch it soar through the air, just for it to fall short because of the exhaustion from playing all night. Don't let this be you. Fuel your body with whole fruits and vegetables to play hard through the night and end the game with a swish. Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
This decade is looking like the worst one to retire or be retired in. For more than 30 years, Bob Carlson's Retirement Watch has been helping Americans invest, protect, and grow their assets. Subscribe to Retirement Watch and you'll get 3 months of Bob Carlson's Retirement Watch newsletter, 5 model portfolios, 5 free reports covering issues like estate planning and annuities to help you protect your money from the government and grow your nest egg, all for just $19.95. Sign up today at yourretirementwatch.com. yourretirementwatch.com.
Never before has it been so important to have peace of mind when it comes to having a healthy home. 50% of the air in your home originates from the basement or crawl space. Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, author of the Dry Basement Healthy Home book and owner of Permaseal Basement Systems. Our PermaDry air filtration and dehumidification system is designed to eliminate harmful allergens, mold spores, pollutants, and minimize viruses in your home. It's quiet, compact, efficient, and most importantly, it works. This freestanding appliance will lower the humidity in your basement, making it smell better and feel more comfortable. It's also 3 times more efficient and effective than the typical 40-point dehumidifier. Call Permaseal for a free inspection and estimate. 800-421-7325. That's 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Known best for being better, Permaseal.
AM 560, The Answer.